Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Senior Night 2022. Our first senior this evening is number 3, defensive back Ridley Joseph. Ridley is escorted by his mom, Susie Jean, and his brothers Corey, Bradley, and Ray. Ridley's greatest football memory is being able to start and grow as a football player, now being able to play college football. After high school, Ridley plans to play football and study political science. Senior number 3, Ridley Joseph. Our next senior, number 4, fullback, Cruz Wright. Cruz is escorted by his mom, Jessica Wright, and his aunt, Cody Wright. Cruz's greatest football memory is freshman year, he touched the ball 3 times and scored 3 times. After high school, Cruz plans on attending a trade school. Number 4, fullback, Cruz Wright. Our next senior is number 6, wide receiver, Damond Baker. Damond is escorted by his parents, Chris and Tiffany Baker. Also his stepmother, Cheerleader Davis, and stepfather, Michael Washington. Damond's greatest football memory is knowing that all the years of playing made a lot of his teammates better. After high school, Damond plans on studying mechanical engineering. Number 6, wide receiver, Damond Baker. Our next senior, number 7, defensive back, Cantrell Davis. Cantrell is escorted by his father, Markle, his mother, Nakia, and siblings, Markle, Cameron, and Nikolai. Cantrell's greatest football memory is the first time he ever scored a touchdown, the rush of knowing he was a part of something bigger than himself. After high school, Cantrell plans on playing football and running track in college while studying psychology, philosophy, or criminal law. Number 7, defensive back, Cantrell Davis. Our next senior, number 9, tight end, Ty Moores. Ty is accompanied by his parents, Trey and Amy Moores, along with his brother Will and sister, Ella Grace. Ty's greatest football memory is catching the game-winning touchdown versus Harrison in 9th grade. After high school, Ty plans to attend college to continue his football and academic career. He plans to major in finance and acquire an MBA. Number 9, tight end, Ty Moores. Our next senior, number 10, linebacker, Nathan Pruitt. Nathan is escorted by his parents, Lark and Laura Pruitt, and his brother, Nicholas. Nathan's greatest football memory is scoring his first touchdown in 6th grade. After high school, Nathan plans on attending the University of Alabama. Linebacker number 10, Nathan Pruitt. Our next senior, number 14, wide receiver, Alex Conti. Alex is escorted by his parents, Justin and Raiden Frizzell, and his brother, Reese. Alex's greatest football memory is being named overall Ironman champion this year. After high school, Alex plans on attending North Georgia Tech to pursue a degree in welding. Number 14, wide receiver, Alex Conti. Our next senior, number 18, defensive back, Jacob Chastain. Jacob is escorted by his parents, Alan and Jessica, along with his brother, Joseph. Jacob's greatest football memory is getting through all 4 years of high school football. After high school, Jacob plans on attending Georgia Southern University and studying business. Ladies and gentlemen, number 18, defensive back, Jacob Chastain. Our next senior, number 20, defensive back, Ben Sanders. Ben is escorted by his parents, Nate and Lisa Sanders, and his sister, Caroline. Ben's greatest football memory is beating Harrison his freshman year at the last second. After high school, Ben plans on studying to be a physical therapist. Number 20, defensive back, Ben Sanders. Next senior, number 22, linebacker Michael Silva. Michael is escorted by his stepfather Roger Wilson and mother Claudette Silva, along with his brother Joseph. Michael's greatest football accomplishment is playing for the Chiefs. After high school, Michael plans to study business at Kennesaw State University. Number 22, linebacker Michael Silva. Our next senior, number 26, linebacker Carter Sant. Carter is escorted by his parents Kevin and Kelly Sant, along with his brother Tyler and sister Addison. Carter's greatest football memory is being named Defensive Impact Player of the Year last season. After high school, both Carter plans on attending college, pursuing a degree in business or forensics. Number 26, linebacker Carter Sant. Our next senior, number 27, wide receiver Cameron Massey. Cameron is escorted by his parents Robbie and Christy Massey. Cameron's greatest football memory is earning a spot as a varsity starter his junior year, after taking off his sophomore year and pushing himself by testing his limits. After high school, Cameron plans on attending a local college. Number 27, wide receiver Cameron Massey. Our next senior, number 28, fullback Asante Shamanda. Asante is escorted by Jane and Abraham Shamanda, as well as his siblings Raya and Yacole. Asante's greatest football memory was being able to play a national TV ESPN for a national championship. After high school, Asante plans to study astronomy and pharmaceutical sciences. Number 28, fullback Asante Shamanda. Our next senior, number 34, linebacker Rowan Still. Rowan is escorted by his parents Kyle and Heather Still. Rowan's greatest memory is earning a starting position at outside linebacker while only weighing 148 pounds. After high school, Rowan plans on pursuing an aviation degree and commercial pilot's license at a university where he can play football. Number 34, Rowan Still. Our next senior, number 35, linebacker Ashton Russell. Ashton is escorted by his parents Sean and Oakley Russell, along with sibling Avery. Ashton's greatest memory is being a part of the Sequoyah Chiefs football team. After high school, he plans on attending college. Number 35, Ashton Russell. Our next senior, number 44, defensive lineman Cole Jordan. Cole is escorted by his parents Jason and Caden Jordan and sibling Corlin Jordan. Cole's greatest football memory is playing well, hitting hard, getting to know my teammates, and learning from Coach Dozier. After high school, Cole plans to serve in the United States military. Number 44, defensive lineman Cole Jordan. Our next senior, number 49, Mackay Small Best. Mackay is escorted by his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Sheldon Best, along with his brother Liam. After high school, Mackay plans to attend a 4-year college to study behavioral biology and neuroscience. number 49, Mackay Small Best. Our next senior is number 51, linebacker Walker Beck. Walker is escorted by his parents, Randy and Amy Beck, and his sister, Addie Kate. Walker's greatest football memory is when our freshman team beat Harrison at the last second his freshman year. After high school, Walker plans on attending college with the intent of majoring in engineering. Number 51, linebacker Walker Beck. Our next senior, number 53, defensive lineman Nick Swanson. Nick is escorted by his parents, Jason and Julie Swanson, and sister, Sophia. Nick's greatest football memory is the freshman team's last-second victory against Harrison. After high school, Nick plans on attending college. Number 53, defensive lineman Nick Swanson. Our next senior, number 56, Will Scott. Will is escorted by his parents, Bubba and Darla, along with his sister, Bailey. Will's greatest football memory is picking up a fumble and going 65 yards for a touchdown. After high school, Will plans to attend lineman school at North Georgia Tech in Blairsville, Georgia. Number 56, offensive lineman Will Scott. Our next senior, number 66, defensive lineman Daniel Morales. Daniel is escorted by his parents, Daniel and Brenda Morales, and his sister, Sophie. Daniel's greatest football memory is getting 2 sacks his junior year. After high school, Daniel plans to attend college and major in physical therapy. Number 66, defensive lineman Daniel Morales. Our next senior, number 70, offensive lineman Teo Ogondale. Sorry if I butchered that. Tayo is escorted by his parents, Taiwo and Binta, along with siblings Tolo, Taiwo, and Kenhande, and Auntie Kenhande. Tayo's greatest football memory is pancaking a 5-star defensive end. After high school, Tayo plans to pursue a degree in computer engineering. Number 70, offensive lineman Tayo Ogondale. Our next senior, number 77, offensive lineman Jimmy Anderson. Jimmy is escorted by his parents, Brady and Christine Anderson, and his brother, Tom. Jimmy's greatest football memory is being a 3-year varsity ladder winner. After high school, Jimmy plans to go to college and study business. Number 77, offensive lineman Jimmy Anderson. Our next senior, number 80, wide receiver Jarrell Merrick. Jarrell is escorted by his parents, Keith and Gwen Myrick. Jarrell's greatest football memory is getting the first tackle of the game on kickoff in 8th grade. After high school, Jarrell plans to attend Chattahoochee Tech and study welding. Number 80, wide receiver Jarrell Myrick. Our next senior, number 83, wide receiver Tyson Omer. Tyson is escorted by his parents, Joe and April Omer. Tyson's greatest football memory is suiting up and playing with his friends. After high school, Tyson is undecided. Number 83, wide receiver Tyson Omer. Our next senior, number 91, kicker Daniel Cruz Garcia. Daniel is escorted by Erica Garcia, Daniel Jimenez, and his sister, Perla Cruz, and brother, Jacob Cruz. Daniel's greatest football memory is getting his first varsity kick in his junior year. After high school, Daniel plans to try and play soccer or football at the college level while studying business. Number 91, kicker Daniel Cruz Garcia. And our last senior football player, number 99, defensive lineman Devin Beavers. Devin is escorted by his mom, Carol Beavers. After high school, Devin has plans to go to college. Everybody, number 99, defensive lineman Devin Beavers. Next, we have trainer Bree McEachran. Bree is escorted by Brian and Tara McEachran. Bree's greatest trainer memory is that she makes the best ice bags. After high school, Bree plans to attend and pursue a career in real estate. Trainer Bree McEachran. Next is trainer Megan Kirby. Megan is escorted by her parents Ann and Christian Kirby, her brother Christian Kirby II, her grandparents Mary Ann and Bill Bierman, and her aunt Maureen Bierman. Emily's greatest trainer moment is being a trainer all 4 years. After high school, Emily plans to major in athletic training with hopes to attend the University of Georgia. That's trainer Megan Kirby. Our first cheerleader is senior Emma Turtle Blackman. Emma is escorted by her parents Lisa Worley and Jeff Blackman and sister Landry Blackman. Emma's greatest cheer memory is making a world-level all-star team and competing at the Cheerleading Worlds and winning Summit 2 times. Also making varsity sideline and competition cheer as a freshman. After high school, Emma plans to attend Georgia Southern and study education, with hopes of becoming an elementary school teacher. Emma is also a member of the Sequoyah High School competition cheer team. That's Emma Turtle Blackman. Our next cheerleader is senior Bailey Combs. Bailey is escorted by her mom, Jennifer Smith, stepdad Shane Smith, brother Hunter Combs, and stepsister Kaylee Smith. Bailey's greatest cheer memory is making varsity cheer all 4 years of high school. After high school, Bailey plans to attend the University of Georgia as a psychology major with a minor in Spanish. She hopes to attend med school and pursue a career as a pediatric surgeon. Ladies and gentlemen, cheerleader Bailey Combs. Our next senior is cheerleader Marissa D'Ambrosia. Marissa is escorted by her parents Bob and Marcy D'Ambrosia and her brother Gavin. Marissa's greatest cheer memory is cheering for 3 years on the varsity sideline team. After high school, Marissa plans to attend a 4-year university. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Marissa D'Ambrosia. Our next senior is cheerleader Samara Destin. Samara Destin is escorted by her parents Valerie and Jean Destin and her sister Lisa Destin. Samara's greatest cheer memory is making it to state her sophomore year. Samara plans to attend a 4-year college majoring in public policy and minoring in sociology. She plans to go to law school as well. That's senior cheerleader Samara Destin. Our next senior is cheerleader Alyssa Geist. Alyssa is escorted by her parents Michael and Jen Geist, twin brother Aiden, and siblings Spencer and Sydney. Alyssa's greatest cheer memory is being a 4-year varsity athlete. After high school, Alyssa plans to attend a 4-year university and major in interior design. Alyssa is also a member of the Sequoyah High School competition cheer team. That's senior cheerleader Alyssa, guys. Our next cheerleader is senior Lauren Graves. Lauren is escorted by her parents, Kathy and Larry Graves, along with siblings Gibson, Gracie, and Gavin. Sorry about the mix-up. This is cheerleader Kira Height. Kira is escorted by her parents, Ken and Lacey Height, along with her sister, Caitlin Height. Her greatest cheer memory is making varsity cheer every year. After high school, Kira plans to attend a 4-year college for track and field as a pole vaulter. That's senior cheerleader Kira Height. Our next senior is cheerleader Danielle Kramer. Danielle is escorted by her parents, Clay and Deborah Kramer. Danielle's greatest cheer memory is winning NCA. After high school, Danielle plans to attend a 4-year university and study animal sciences. That's senior cheerleader Danielle Kramer. Our next cheerleader is senior Kayla Polecki. Kayla is escorted by her parents, Russ and Liz Polecki. Kayla's greatest cheer memory is making varsity cheer squad all 4 years and making Stingray All-Stars Peach this year. After high school, Kayla plans to attend a 4-year university and try out for their cheer team. Ladies and gentlemen, that's senior cheerleader Kayla Polecki. Our next senior is cheerleader Catherine Thompson. Catherine is escorted by her parents Beth and Rob Thompson, along with her siblings Robbie, Owen, and Haley. Catherine's greatest cheer memory is making varsity all 4 years. After high school, Catherine plans to attend a 4-year university. Catherine is also a member of the Sequoyah High School competition cheer team. That's senior cheerleader Catherine Thompson. Tried to jump the gun on this one, but here we go. Our next senior is cheerleader Lauren Graves. Lauren is escorted by her parents Kathy and Larry Graves, along with siblings Gibsy, Gracie, and Gavin. Lauren's greatest cheer memory is winning a jump contest in 8th grade. After high school, Lauren plans to attend a 4-year university to study business with hopes of one day owning her own business. Lauren is also a member of the Sequoyah High School competition cheer team. Ladies and gentlemen, senior cheerleader Lauren Graves. Everybody give a big hand to this year's seniors. carrying the American flag is Cadet Lacey Shirley. And carrying the Georgia flag is Cadet Angeline Morgan. Protecting the flags as rifle bearers are Cadets Mason Waller and Ansley Reed. It is customary to remove your hat and place your right hand over your heart during the playing of the national anthem. Thank you for your participation and patriotism. On behalf of the Cherokee County Board of Education, Dr. Brian Hightower, Superintendent of Schools, Principal Mr. Robert Van Alstyne, Athletic Director Mr. Peter Boyda, and Head Coach James Teeter, welcome to tonight's game. And please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Tonight's anthem will be performed by the Sequoyah Marching Band of Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
Officials for tonight's game. Referee, Dell Cameron. Umpire, Hollis Langston. Lines judge, Benjamin Smith. Lines judge, LT. Side judge, Vincent Payne. Field judge, Brad Estes. Back judge, Pete Ashley. The electronic clock operator, Jerome McIver. And your PCO, Keith Patterson. Looks like Lambert wins the toss to first in the second half. Chiefs will receive to start the game.
Hey, Casey, you want a wider time than you?
And here comes
Georgia.
Yeah, Sequoia's first non-region matchup of the year comes against a Lambert team that went 7-3 in the regular season last year, lost in the first round of the playoffs to Collins Hill, and last year was actually Lambert's first year with a winning record since 2016, the 2016-17 season. So it's been a while. That year they went 6-4 in the regular season and had a 1-1 record in the playoffs. So for Longhorns fans, they hope that they can see more of what they did last year, and that's a football team that finally performed to the level that they know they're capable of.
Yeah, to say they performed, honestly, would be an understatement. James Tyler, their QB, returns for his senior season this year in what can only be his best, honestly. Last year, he threw for 15 passing touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns, and was second on the team for rushing with 45.5 yards a game.
Yeah, along with his 64% completion rate and 122.3 QB rating, he's a huge threat for Chiefs coming into this game. It isn't all bad news for Sequoyah, though, because you and I have always talked about how we think Sequoia's defense has been a little bit stronger than their offense. So Lambert will certainly have a run for their money.
Yeah, and going back to that scrimmage 2 weeks ago, we saw the Chiefs defense hold Denmark to 7 points through 4 games as they're about to kick off right now to start their first game of the season.
And Sequoyah will receive, and we are underway here. The 2022 season has begun, and Sequoyah makes the reception, runs around the right side, and he'll get tripped up. That is Tyler Bell, the junior. We called his name quite a few times in the fall scrimmage a couple weeks ago against Denmark. He had a nice game, making a lot of running plays for Sequoyah.
And we're going to see who Jack Mine chooses as his first QB of the season. I'm pretty sure we're pretty positive it's going to be Nesbitt, and it is going to be Nesbitt. Jackson Nesbitt, the senior, onto the field. Junior, pardon me.
And Nesbitt was the quarterback we saw for, I believe it was the whole first half in that fall scrimmage. He did very well. One thing to note was that Sequoyah did a lot more passing plays than they usually do. Obviously, we talk about how they're a wing tee-based offense, as Nesbitt is now under center, and he will hand that one off to Jackson Hancock.
And we always say this, but Jackson Hancock is going to be the player to watch, in my opinion, for the Chiefs. His ability to change the game in one play on the offense and the defense, his big play ability, his strength is insane. He's a key player to watch for the Chiefs.
And Nesbitt under center once again. He does have Hancock behind him, but he'll pause and get some final words from the coach before he gets back under center. And he'll toss that one off to Hancock, who'll run up the left side and is pushed forward by his teammates, but eventually brought down by a couple Longhorns.
And we saw that in the scrimmage against Denmark. Those outside runs against Denmark, they honestly worked pretty well, and it kind of sparked that whole offensive comeback for Sequoyah in that fourth quarter. But this is a whole new team. This is a brand new season. I don't know if the pitch plays are going to work against Lambert. It's a brand new defense for Buddy and the defensive Jack Mine and the offense to figure out.
Most definitely. So Nesbitt is under center once again. He's got one receiver to his right. That's Cameron Massey, and he'll pitch that one off once again.
That was Tyler Bell on the run.
Tyler Bell's brought down by more than a few Longhorns there. He was followed up pretty quickly before he could find any green space to get into. So that's a fourth down for the Chiefs.
Yeah,
10 minutes and 2 seconds now left in this first quarter.
3 and out on the first drive.
Once again, we welcome you to the home opener of the Sequoyah Chiefs on Chiefs TV. It's great to have you along for this 2022 football season.
And we saw 3 runs on that first possession, 3 and out. We saw in the scrimmage that most of their plays in the first half were passes, which surprised both of us. In the second half, they kind of resorted back to running, and that's kind of where they scored. I wonder if Jack Mine might be looking back to that second half where they had production and maybe putting more focus on the running game. But now we're going to see James Tyler in this electric Lambert offense.
Yeah, the Lambert offense, we certainly have a lot to talk about. I mean, James Tyler, we didn't get to talk about him too much in pregame, but boy, is there stats to read off when you're talking about last year. He was second on the team in rushing yards, excuse me, per game with 45 average per game. He averages 6 yards every carry. So he's an offensive threat for sure.
And we have Ethan Terry and James Tyler in the backfield. Terry, the running back, Tyler, the QB.
And 2 receivers on each side of Tyler. He'll take that one in the pocket and find some space as he's pressured quickly He'll make a juke move and pick up some yards.
Picks up about 5 there, but just from one play, you saw his elusiveness on the run. Juked out a Chief right there. We're going to be seeing that all night. Tyre is a mobile quarterback, but at the same time can launch the ball 50 yards down the field.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he got 500 rushing yards in 11 games last year as the quarterback, too. So he's got 2 receivers to his right and left again, and he'll heave that one downfield. Oh, nice pass coverage there from Cantrell Davis, nearly intercepted. It looks like Davis almost tipped that one to Hancock, actually.
Yeah, Hancock had his hands on that, but that was a hard one to pick for anyone. But that was great coverage by Cantrell Davis right there.
Yeah, it really was. That Longhorn wide receiver really did not have any chance to get that. Davis was all over him.
And I believe that was Brennan Jones. We're going to be seeing a lot of him tonight. That is one of Tyre's favorite targets in the receiving game.
Yeah, and a quick 3rd down for the Longhorns here. 9:03 left to go in this first quarter. And Tyre receives the snap, looks to his right, finds a receiver, and he breaks a tackle and powers ahead for a few more. Luke Logan, number 15.
And Luke Logan is a beast in the secondary. He can catch those passes, but just like you saw there, he can bulldoze defenders.
He is 6'5", 225,
Yeah.
so that certainly helps.
Not someone to mess with.
And Tyre will take a quick snap and hands that one off to Ethan Terry.
But Chris Jordan was there in the backfield, tackle for a loss. 2nd and 11 now.
Ethan Terry, another name we're probably going to be calling a lot tonight. He was 3rd in the team for rushing yards per game last year for Lambert as a sophomore, 38.4 yards per game. And he'll be that guy that's constantly to Tyre's right or left in the backfield. And this one, Tyre keeps himself, makes quite a few juke moves, and gets through some Sequoyah defenders. The quickness on that play,
And it honestly doesn't seem like he's going that fast, but he's just shifty up the gut and just jukes out those defenders like they're nothing. But the Chiefs are doing everything they can right now because Tyre is an electric quarterback.
Yeah, and immediately after he got the snap, he was already putting moves on the Sequoyah defenders. He's just very explosive.
And they call it a 1st down.
So that'll move the chains for the Lambert Longhorns. 1st and 10 approaching the red zone, 7:47 left to go.
This is a huge test for this Chiefs defense right now. First possession of the game, they need to get something going, figure out something quickly, or Tyre and the Longhorns will score.
And Tyre's in the pocket. He'll take that snap and hand it off right away to Ethan Terry. Terry goes up the right side and is met by a couple Chiefs there. He will get a few yards on that play.
2nd down and 6 for the Longhorns. And they're going hurry up.
And a quick snap with Tyre. He'll throw that one to the right side, and that's a touchdown for the Longhorns. Luke Logan, we called his name already. The 6'5" senior gets the first touchdown of the season for the Lambert Longhorns.
And that was a phenomenal play call. That hurry up, they hadn't done that the whole drive. They went in the hustle, and they got a quick snap off and a quick touchdown to Logan, who was wide open.
Yeah, and Max, I think that's a pattern we might see with this Lambert team is the quickness. I mean, you saw it with the quarterback in there. I mean, that touchdown took maybe 3 seconds off the clock when it's all said and done.
Yeah, maybe not just speed, but general pace of the whole team is going to be very fast.
Yeah. So Lambert sends out their kicking unit. And their kicker is Ryan Degansky, number 89. And he'll sail that one easily through the uprights. So 7-0 Lambert Longhorns on top of the Chiefs early with 7:10 left to go in this first quarter.
A very impressive drive, opening drive from Lambert. Very impressive. And I think the biggest thing we saw was Tyre's mobility. Tyre's ability to get out of the pocket. The pocket, he had a decent amount of time to throw, but the secondary right now for Sequoyah, besides that hurry-up play that caught everyone off guard, they're doing a good job, and they're going to need to continue doing that to stop Tyre.
Yeah, Tyre is certainly the player we're going to be looking at when it comes to the Lambert offense, and that drive was a great example of why he was able to move the ball himself, but also get it quickly off to receivers and put 7 points on the board in one drive.
Interested to see what the Sequoyah offense maybe does different. Maybe if they do a couple passing plays. They had 3 running plays in a row, went 3 and out on their first possession.
So Tyler Bell and Jackson Hancock are the two receivers back for Sequoyah again. Oh, a little bit of confusion there. Both Hancock and Bell were both there. Not enough communication on who was going to catch the ball, but crisis averted there as Hancock picks it up.
Good save. That could have been phenomenal field position for Lambert, but great save by Sequoyah.
Yeah, and you could see Teeter there on the field clearly telling Hancock and Bell, you guys got to have communication on that one. Because if you don't, we saw how quickly Lambert could score on us. We don't want that to happen again already.
So the Chiefs' second possession. Let's see if they do anything different.
Massey is to Nesbitt's right. He is the only receiver on the field for Sequoyah. He does have Hancock behind him, and that's who we'll give it to. And he is stuffed up the middle.
2-yard run for Hancock there.
Yeah, we'll give him 3 yards, so 2nd and 7 for Sequoyah. And Massey and Conti are going to switch spots. Conti now on that left side for Nesbitt, and Hancock actually is the receiver to the right. And Nesbitt immediately looks toward Hancock. Hancock gets that one, is tackled by Carson Nowles.
Yeah, and Nesbitt first thing was looking for Hancock. He knows how dynamic he is at receiver.
Yeah, and I think that's a positive we saw from the fall scrimmage is that Nesbitt was able to get the ball out of his hands pretty quickly, but not just quickly, it was also accurately. He made quite a few really nice passes, and again, that's something we don't see as much from Sequoyah considering they are a wing T offense, but they were definitely able to do it well.
3rd down and 2 now. Big 3rd down for the Chiefs.
And Nesbitt hands that one off.
I believe they're going to be a yard short.
Yeah, it's close, but I think Hancock, they're going to spot him. 4th and 9.
And they're going to send on the punt team. 6 run plays out of all 6 plays that have not worked right now.
So the clock ticks under 5 minutes. And it's still 7-0. Lambert Longhorns on top of your Sequoyah Chiefs. And Daniel Cruz in the punt unit out for Sequoyah once more.
Man, Lambert has brought a...
Oh, no, he has trouble with the snap, and he's still able to get it off. And Sequoyah lets it bounce and try and get back as many yards as they could.
Man, 2 crises averted, and it's still the first quarter. You can tell the Chiefs are still trying to knock the rust off. The scrimmage, I don't think the scrimmage brought them back into the season as much as it could have, because this is football season. It's completely different from an off-season scrimmage. There's, like I was saying, the Lambert team brought a whole student section, a whole band. They have a whole opposing crowd here. So this is a whole different environment for the Chiefs.
Yeah, so a couple mishaps from Sequoyah early, but we'll just chalk that up to nerves. It is the first game and the first couple drives they've had all season.
But here comes
Regardless,
Tyre
that
again.
will give the Longhorns very good field positioning. So Tyre will take that snap quickly, throw it off to Tommy Lafayette, but he's swallowed up by Walker Beck Ridley Joseph, excuse me.
Yeah, and a big group of Chiefs.
Yeah, big loss of yards as well.
Yeah, that's a good start to the possession for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and similar to that play with Nesbitt and Hancock, as soon as Tyre got the snap, he threw it off immediately, and Ridley Joseph was able to do a very good job of reading it quickly and not let them get any yards.
Yeah, loss of 6, I believe. 2nd and 16.
So Tyres is setting up on the left hash, so he has 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. And he does have Ethan Terry right beside him as well. And Terry runs to the right, and actually he'll throw that off to him, but Terry's unable to complete the pass.
Yeah, just out of reach. Taylor got his fingers on it.
Yeah, it looks like he was maybe trying to run before he had the ball, but it was definitely a close pass. Regardless,
But that was a good look for the Chiefs that possession. I mean,
Yeah.
that play, because they got a lot of pressure on Tyre. There was a lot of Chiefs that had wide open looks at hitting Tyre.
Yeah, and it'll be 3rd and 15 for Lambert, excuse me. Tyres again takes a snap, looks to his left, doesn't find anybody. He'll sprint out to his right. He does find somebody, and they'll get a first down. He breaks a couple tackles there. That's Luke Logan, who made the touchdown reception earlier, and he gets another big first down.
I wish we had replay, because that sidearm by Tyre gave me Patrick Mahomes vibes. I don't know, but what a play. And look, they're in the hurry up again.
Lambert running this tempo, and Tyre will step back. Oh, and he's not able to fool. Oh, wait, he is. He does shake off a tackle there, and he weaves in between. Wow, he just lobs it right over. And Tommy Lafayette, once again, nearly gets a first down. Wow, that's really good athleticism. Ian Mariah almost had him for a sack there, and that would have been a loss of 6 or 7 there.
That just this close. Mariah was this close.
That's just a testament to Tyre's
athleticism.
Athleticism and physicality.
And look, you can see he's kind of pacing right now. I bet he has to be at least tired a little bit. A huge play from James Tyre. Two good plays in a row. That sidearm throw and that ability to escape the pressure. Longhorns have a phenomenal QB on their hands.
And Max, thus far, the tempo plays, the hurry up as you call them, have been too much for Sequoyah to handle. They just haven't had enough time to think about what Lambert may be doing before Lambert's already snapped the ball and running the play. So 3:23 left to go in this first quarter. Lambert Longhorns up 7-0 on the Chiefs. And 2nd and 7 for Lambert. And Tyres will sidearm again to Brandon Jones, the 5'11 senior.
That's a good pickup. Sets up a more manageable 3rd down. The Chiefs are having a hard time stopping that passing play.
So they'll give him Brandon Jones about 3 yards on that play. So 3rd and 4 for the Longhorns.
I believe there might have been a flag or a timeout.
I'm not sure. It looks like Tyre was looking towards
False start on the offense.
Sideline. Yeah, false start on the offense. So that'll bring Lambert back quite a bit.
Yeah, that helps the Chiefs. Going to be about a 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 it looks like. So they did bring him back 5 yards. So a little less manageable 3rd down conversion for Longhorns.
A big 3rd down for the Chiefs. Could be a crucial stop.
So Tyre takes a snap, picks it up off the ground, shifts to his left, spins to his right, still looking, and he has to make a couple juke moves and throws it out of bounds, not able to make a play. He had a receiver in mind, but he was too far out of bounds when he threw it, so he could not make the completion there.
And a stop by Sequoyah. That took a number of Chiefs, but still, they stopped him. Chris Jordan, the final one to force him out of bounds there. But a good series right there, and they might be going for it.
Yeah,
on
I
4th
think
down.
Lambert's going for it.
Understandable. They're
on
in their
4th and 9.
Yeah.
So Tyre has 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. 2:26 left to go in this first quarter. 4th and 9 for Lambert. He takes the snap, looks to his left, isn't able to find anybody, nearly pulled down by a Chief, and he has to throw it to the ground.
He was looking for Brandon Jones right there, but unable to connect. And a big 4th down stop. Chiefs have the ball, down by 7.
Yeah, and Tayo Ogundele, you saw him on the ground there kneeling. He almost thought he had that sack.
A lot of Chiefs have
Yeah, he dove for him, and that's the 3rd time that's happened already for Sequoyah, where they've dove for him and weren't able to get the sack.
Yeah. And I think sacking Tyre is going to be kind of a rare occurrence due to his speed. But just pressuring him and forcing passes that might be a little bit risky is the best they can do right now.
Yeah, and they are doing a great job of putting pressure on him. He's had to drop back multiple times and nearly been sacked. I use that loosely.
having a talk on the field. That might be for the clock. I'm not for sure. But the Chiefs will have the ball for their third possession. They've had 6 run plays and no passing plays thus far.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to get past or into Lambert's zone yet so far. Or right now they're on their 20-yard line. And Nesbitt keeps that one for himself, rolls out to his right, looks over, finds Ty Moores. Nice completion by him. And Ty Moores will be pushed out of bounds, but not after a big gain right there.
One play is all it takes, and the first passing play, gain of almost 15. Big gain. It'll be a 1st and 10 at the 50.
So Nesbitt again under center. He's got one receiver to his left. He does not choose to go for him. He gives it off to Tyler Bell. Tyler Bell will get a few yards there. So it looks like the way offensive coordinator Coach Jack Mine for Sequoyah is running his plays right now. As far as passing wise, he's got Cameron Massey and then Alex Conti kind of rotating each play. And then he also has Hancock sometimes, and that'll go over to Massey. It looks like Massey slipped on that one, so he wasn't able to get that.
Yeah, Massey slipped first thing right on his turn to look for the ball. Just a bad wrap right there. But we know what Massey is capable of. He's a great receiver for the Chiefs.
And Conti comes back on for Massey. Nesbitt gets a play call from Jack Mine, and he'll lead the troops back out on the field.
And this is the big third down. This is their only possession where they've had a first down. They want to try to continue something here. 3rd and about 6.
3rd and 6. He's got Conti to his left, and he rolls out. He's looking to that left side. He finds Tyler Bell. Tyler Bell makes a reception. It's brought down at the 27, it looks like. Nice reception from Tyler Bell there.
Chiefs are running their routes very well right now, and Conti looking smooth, rolling out to both sides.
Yeah, 2 great passing plays to set up 2 big first downs.
And now they're in Lambert territory.
A big 3rd down conversion as well.
Yeah.
So Nesbitt gives that one off to Hancock, who's behind him. Hancock will run to that left side. And he's met by Tommy Morris of the Longhorns. Referees will give Hancock a couple yards on that play, so 2nd and 8 for Sequoyah now.
Just on the 25. Let's see what Jack Mine cooks up here.
So Nesbitt under center, and he pauses to get a play call from Jack Mine. No receivers to either side so far.
Yeah.
And he hands that one off to Hancock once again. Hancock goes up the middle this time. Swallowed up by multiple people. A little bit of a pile created. And 34 seconds and counting left in this first quarter. So another 3rd down for Sequoyah.
They might have to run a play, I'm pretty sure. The play clocks are not
A very
running.
similar play call here. It looks like Conti's on the right side this time. It's 3rd and 8, so we could see him go with another passing play. You never know. Nesbitt rolls out again, looking to that right side. He throws it, and he does find Conti. Conti makes the reception.
Beautiful.
Very nice reception from him.
Beautiful. You could kind of tell from an outside perspective, Conti was who Nesbitt was going to be looking for, and just a beautifully ran route to the side by Conti, and Nesbitt is being accurate as heck right now.
Yeah, and a great 1st down play. And that will conclude the first quarter of play as the horn sounds. So some great momentum coming off that first quarter in Sequoyah's 3rd drive of the game.
But yeah, great momentum. A lot of offensive production that we hadn't seen those first 2 drives. This Chiefs offense is coming alive right now.
Yeah, and the running plays were getting 2 or 3 yards maybe, but really it was those 3 passing plays.
Yeah.
We had the reception to Moores, the reception to Bell, and then that reception to Conti right there. I mean, that moved him down the field. That was about 20-yard receptions apiece.
Yeah, and I think that's great to see. You listed off 3 different receivers for all 3 receptions. I think that's great to see how Nesbitt might not be just targeting one receiver. The Chiefs have receivers across the board who are very much capable of getting downfield fast and running their routes correctly.
Yeah, and Max, I think that can also keep the Lambert defense guessing. You know,
Yeah.
they don't. I mean, those are 3 receivers that Nesbitt went to already, and it's just the end of the first quarter. And, you know, those aren't typically names we've been calling. Like, Massey has been attempted once, but he didn't make the catch. So there's even another option that Nesbitt has.
A great first quarter. And I think we haven't really talked about Lambert that much after the first quarter, but they were electric. We saw Tyre, his mobility, but that's secondary. I think what we need to focus on is that secondary, their coverage. Besides the hurry up and the tempo, it's hard to cover for anyone. But our secondary right now is doing a great job covering these receivers who are all phenomenal on their route running.
You're absolutely right. So a fresh 1st and 10 for Sequoyah inside Lambert's 20-yard line. And Nesbitt, it looks like they're going to pause to finish the announcements. They were announcing the state champions from last year. That was Laurel Blaze for swimming and Delaney Harrison as well. And they are going to resume play with football here. So 12 minutes on the clock for the beginning of this second quarter. And Nesbitt hands that one off to Tyler Bell. Tyler Bell runs up the right side, just short of the first down marker. And there was a lot of motion there. There was multiple guys going left and right, so way to confuse the Lambert defense there, and it clearly worked.
Second down, a good game right there. Second down and about 5.
So Nesbitt has Ridley Joseph, another receiver. We haven't called his name yet, and he chooses to hand that one off to Bell. Bell again with the right side, and this time Lambert's able to read that one a little bit quicker than last time. Cam Bland for the Longhorns pushing Bell out of bounds there.
Yeah, Lambert overall right now is defending the run really well.
And Alex Conti coming back on for Ridley Joseph. So again, Max Joseph, there's 5 receivers that we've already said, and 3 of them have already had a reception. So Sequoyah can very easily confuse this Lambert offense as Nesbitt keeps that one, rolls out to his left. He's looking, does not find anyone, chooses to keep that one himself. He is brought down by number 42 on Lambert, Drake Smith, the 5'11 senior. So that'll be done as a sack for Smith and a loss of yardage for Sequoyah.
They might go for it here because this is kind of awkward territory. Cruz, I don't know if he could make a field goal from here, maybe, but in this environment, I'm not for sure. But it's a huge 4th down. It's 4th down and 15.
It's a lot, but if Sequoyah tries another passing play, they very may well be able to execute this. Cameron Massey is to the right, so he may be an intended receiver that we see. And Nesbitt rolls out, again, looking right to his right. Oh, and he'll heave that one downfield. Massey's the intended receiver. Oh, and it's intercepted, but there's a flag on the play. There is a flag on the play.
That came out kind of late, like after Christian Smith had intercepted it. I'm not for sure if it is going to be on Massey, but we will see. This could be a huge call.
Either way, I mean, obviously it was intercepted, but it was a very nice pass right on target. It was also a very deep throw. I mean, we're talking a 20-yard throw right there.
Yeah, accurate throw too. Just well guarded by Smith.
I hear the Lambert student section booing, so I think that's a good sign if you're a Sequoyah fan.
Yeah.
I don't know yet if they've made an official call on the field.
Yeah, I don't really know. It could be on either side because I think both of them are pretty physical.
It looks like here comes the white hat out to center field to deliver the verdict.
Pass interference on the defense. That's going to be on Christian Smith of the Longhorns, and that is a huge call. I believe that is 15 yards.
So with that penalty, the interception, excuse me, is nullified. So, and Cameron Massey is still on the field, so he may get another chance. We will have to see.
It's about 5 yards. No, pardon me, 10 yards. That's going to be a 4th and 6, much more manageable for the Chiefs.
And Massey again sets up to that right side. Ty Moores is on the left, not as a receiver, possibly a blocker to defend anyone from that side. Nesbitt gets it, rolls out to the right. He looks for Massey again, nearly caught. He has to dive for it, but is not able to make the reception.
Overall, good possession by the Chiefs.
Yeah, and Max, I think the only drawback to Nesbitt looking right away at where he's going to throw it is I think Lambert could tell where he was going.
I think they're reading it well.
And also, I mean, it was like the exact same play as the last one, but I think looking right at your target kind of gives it away like, hey, Lambert, I'm going to throw it here.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Massey was still able to, or close to making that reception.
And one thing about the wing T, about the passing plays, when you have one receiver on each side and you roll to one side, most of the time you're going to throw to the receiver who is on that side. So I think for Lambert and other teams that are playing, when they're passing, it's not easy, but it's easier than other passing offenses to read where they're going to pass, like you said.
Yeah. So Lambert will come back out on the field. 10 minutes left in this second quarter and in this first half. Tyre gets the snap. He hands that one off to Ethan Terry. Ethan Terry does not get far before he's met by Breton Darling on the Chiefs defense there.
And there's about 9:39 left in the second quarter. 2nd and 8 now. This could be a good stop for the Chiefs. Lambert has a lot of field to cover if they want to score.
Yeah, but just like Sequoyah, Lambert showed they can put together a few big passing plays and get down the field quickly.
Yeah.
And we'll see what Lambert does with it here. Tyre chooses to keep it and makes a juke move, goes to the left side. He's got plenty of green room. Oh, really, Joseph is tracking him down. Breton Darling and Cantrell Davis are also in pursuit, and Davis is unable to get him. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Touchdown, Lambert. That was impressive.
Like an 73-yard touchdown run. Wow. Speechless right now. But that Ridley Joseph right into the field reminded me of that DK Metcalf meme where you see him trying to chase him down, but he was doing everything he can, but Tyre is just so fast.
Cantrell Davis and Breton Darling were running as fast as they could.
Yeah.
Tyre, wow, that was some speed.
And you saw that move, his first cut down the field. You could see it. He fakes out the whole offense. People don't see that he cut, and you still have people going towards that side towards the close side of the field where they thought he was going, but his cut was so fast and caught so many people off guard.
That's a highlight reel play right there.
Instantly.
And Lambert easily puts that one through the uprights, and they will double their score here, 14-0. Lambert Longhorns on top of the Sequoyah Chiefs.
What a play.
That was
something.
Yeah.
But now the Chiefs, after a promising possession overall, have a chance to respond. 14-0, they're still in this, definitely 100%. It's only the first half, but they definitely do need to get something going here.
Yeah, and with a little bit of this new look Sequoyah that we have seen, trying more passing plays, time might not be as big of an option or as big of a worry for them because we saw them try, a few passing plays and got them down the field pretty quickly. So they can definitely play with Lambert here and match what they're doing on the passing side and offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and we know they're wing T. I don't think they're going to stray away at all from the running plays, but I think they have realized that when they have those passing plays, they're going to have to take a whole lot of advantage of that because those are the plays where they get the big gains and get better field position overall.
So Lambert setting up to kick it off. Tyler Bell and Jackson Hancock back again to receive it. Hopefully there will be some better communication between them. Last time we saw both of them were going for it. Hancock was able to retrieve it. And Lambert kicks it off that one. Tyler Bell's motioning for that one. He makes the reception. And he's running ahead, but he is met quickly by Tommy Lafayette. So a quick stop there from the Lambert Longhorns will put Sequoyah at about their own 10-yard line.
We're going to see this Chiefs offense back again. They're starting field position, about the 12. A lot of field for them to cover right now.
And I don't see Massey or Conti on the field as a receiver. However, Hancock is there, and we know he's a running back receiver option that Coach Jack Mine can go to. So Nesbitt with no receiver to his left or his right. He'll choose to pitch that one off to Hancock behind him. And, oh, Hancock lets that one go. I don't know if it was after or before he was on the ground.
I'm not for sure what happened.
It looked like he was already on the ground when he let go of that
I mean,
one.
it kind of just looked like he gave up, and it's not like Hancock at all to do that. I don't know. I believe it is going to be Sequoyah ball still, yeah. A close call there, though.
Yeah, they're going to say that he let go of the ball after he was already on the ground. Regardless, it is a loss of 3 yards for Sequoyah, so it'll bring them back to their 9-yard line now. 2nd and 12, or 2nd and 13, excuse me. So Cameron Massey to his right, Tyler Bell to his left now. And Nesbitt looks to his left, finds Massey. Massey makes the reception, is brought down by Harrison Richards of Lambert.
Reception good for about 4. 3rd down, and
looks like they'll give him 5,
yeah.
so.
3rd down and I think 8.
Yes.
They're going to need one of those big passing plays here. The running plays have not been generating that many yards per play. This Lambert defense is really stuffing the middle. They're going to need Nesbitt and the receiver to cook something up here.
So 7:43 left to go in this second quarter. 3rd and 8 for Sequoyah. Big 3rd and 8 here. Nesbitt rolls out to his left, and he looks for someone. Can't find it. Let's go with the football. Brady Curl, I don't know if he was able to jump on top of it. I think the ball got hit out of bounds.
No, I think they were, I'm pretty sure at least it was a pass. They counted it as a pass.
Okay. They put a flag on the field.
It might have been intentional grounding, which wouldn't do that much damage, but that would make this punt a whole lot harder.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a punt either way. It's just a matter of how far back it's going to be.
But right there, I don't know if y'all saw, number 50, Brady Curl was kind of limping off the field. Hopefully he'll be okay. He will be okay.
All the Chief fans know he's a defensive presence and offensive presence we certainly need on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, but Cruz is all the way to the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I think they are going to say that's intentional grounding.
Has to be careful here.
So Cruz is about 2 steps from walking outside of the end zone.
We already saw a fumbled snap earlier. We have to be really conscious right now and careful that Cruz does not make any mistakes.
And Smith gets the snap. He kicks it off. It might have been tipped. It doesn't go nearly as far as he wanted it to. It bounces back. Chiefs looking for a favorable bounce. Unable to get it. So fantastic field positioning for Lambert.
Yeah.
That is not good news for Sequoyah at all.
And just after that huge run by Tyre, they have the ball right back. And yeah, like you said, great field position. 14-0 your score with 7:19 left in the second quarter. There was a flag thrown on that play. Not for sure what the call was.
Referee is still conversing. And it looks like it's a declined penalty.
Yeah, so no effect. But still, Lambert, great field position, starting on Sequoiah's, I believe, 13.
Yeah, nearly 1st and goal for Lambert here. 7:19 left to go in the first half. Lambert Longhorns on top, 14-0. And last time Lambert had the ball on the offense, their quarterback, James Tyre, had a phenomenal, I think you said it was 73 or 70 to 80 yard run.
Don't know if I calculated
for
right.
a touchdown. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, but yeah, huge run.
Tyre's got 2 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. They're set up on that left hash, and he'll hand that one off to Ethan Terry, who's brought down by Jimmy Anderson.
All of the Longhorns right now breaking tackles, juking Chiefs. Just shows their true athleticism. This is a really good Longhorn team. Longhorn offense in particular.
.650 left to go now in the first half. Tyre's only got 1 receiver to his right, so it makes you, if you're Sequoyah defense, it makes you wonder if he's going to keep it and try to put some moves on the defense here. And he'll hand that one off.
And I believe he'll be short of the first down.
To Lafayette.
Going to be about 3rd and 1. A good gain right there, but not enough for the first.
So 3rd and 2 for the Longhorns.
Oh, it's a Wildcat play.
So
and that was Lafayette getting the
yeah,
snap.
Lafayette got the snap. And they're saying he was stopped at the 1 yard line.
I'm pretty sure he was short.
Because he dove in the end zone, but yeah, I don't know if he.
Yeah.
They're gonna say he stopped before he did that. Yeah, that was Lafayette who took the snap, so it kind of faked us out there a little bit. It looks like he's gonna take the snap again.
Yeah, I was looking for Tyre, but I saw Lafayette there, and he's there again.
So Lafayette takes the snap. He'll power through, and they will give Lambert Longhorns another touchdown. So 20-0 now. Longhorns on top of your Sequoyah Chiefs.
And going up 3 scores with 5:34 left in the second, the Chiefs have to be thinking that they need to get a score on this drive right here.
Yeah, especially considering that Lambert is going to receive the second half kickoff. So
yeah,
you don't want to go into the locker room with a 0 still on the board. And I think Sequoyah definitely has a drive they can put together. We saw them almost do it nearing that end of the first quarter. As Ryan Degansky and the kicking unit come out. And he'll put that extra point up. And it is through and good. So Degansky's 3 for 3 on extra points, and that will bring the Longhorns total to 21. And Sequoyah remains at 0. 5:34 left to go in this first half.
You know, the Chiefs might not be stopping the Lambert Longhorns right now, but what I'm noticing on every extra point play, Cantrell Davis is running around that line. The Chiefs are still putting in effort at every aspect. They are not giving up right now. It's great to see.
Yeah, Cantrell Davis has really been, I think, putting in some good work over the summer. I think we can tell, or we've been able to tell this game. I mean, that first play for Lambert, or their first play on their first drive, he had great pass coverage there, and prevented a nice reception. And he was tracking down Tyre, but really there's not much Sequoyah can do about that. Tyre's got some serious wheels.
And now the Chiefs will get the ball for their 4th time. Here goes the kickoff.
Degansky sets up to kick off to Hancock and Bell. And it looks like Hancock is motioning for that. He'll take that and run around. He does a little juke move to his left.
Pulled down about the 26.
Looks like Carson Nowell's got a hand on his foot there and brought Hancock down.
And now the Chiefs offense back onto the field. 5:27 left in the half. Looking to get something going to have some momentum and hope going into halftime. I believe no receivers out on this play.
No, he does have Conti out there. He's not set up in a receiver position.
Yeah, kind of in the slot a little bit, closer to the line.
Nesbitt under center will get that one. Hands off to Hancock right away. Hancock goes up that left center. Unable to get, or maybe they'll give him a couple yards on that one. So Massey comes on for Conti. They will give him 1 yard, so 2nd and 9. Massey to that right side where he usually is. And Nesbitt hands that one off to Bell. Or no, that's Chimanda, I believe.
Yeah, Asante Chimanda, senior. I don't know if he gained. I think it was no gain. 3rd and 9.
And Massey and Conti both on the field for this one.
They're going to need
So
him.
I'd say high probability we're
Yeah.
going to go for a passing play. Ty Moores gets subbed off. So Conti to the left, Massey to the right. Chimanda remains on the field as well. He's behind Nesbitt. And Nesbitt takes that one, shuffles backward, lobs it over his head. Not sure who that was to.
That was a screen play, but I did not see anyone there. I saw blockers, but I didn't see anyone looking for the ball.
It looked like, yeah, it looked like Nesbitt threw that at a blocker. I wasn't sure who the intended receiver was.
I mean, it looked like a screen play. It could have just been a lot of pressure on Nesbitt, but he was acting like it was a screen play. But nonetheless, 3 and out, 2nd time tonight for the Chiefs. And that gives the ball back to Tyre in this electric Lambert offense.
And it didn't take much time off the clock as well, so Lambert still has plenty of time to put yet another score on the board. So Daniel Cruz in the Sequoyah kicking unit comes out onto the field, and Cruz gets that, picks it up off the ground there, punts that one over to Christian Smith, and he'll watch that go out of bounds. So nice punt there from Daniel Cruz. So 3:57 left to go in the first half. Lambert Longhorns on top of your Sequoyah Chiefs, 21-0. Max, I think Lafayette is taking this, or no, it looks like Tyre is back. Lafayette's right next to him, so I wasn't sure. And Tyre steps back, heaves that one downfield. Oh, oh, wow. Great pass coverage there. And that's Cantrell Davis once again.
Yeah,
not the first time we've called his name.
Brandon Jones and Cantrell Davis, the two names in the secondary right now for both teams. And Jones, he had that ball for a second, but Cantrell Davis, a phenomenal recovery. He is doing very well, having a great showing in the secondary tonight.
Yeah, and the trick to pass coverage is to do enough to make sure they don't catch the ball, but don't do too much to where you have to get a pass interference. And Cantrell Davis, those are two great plays where he's been able to prevent the receiver from getting any yardage for Lambert. 2nd and 10 now for Lambert. And Tyre will choose to hand that one off to Lafayette. Lafayette runs into one of his own players and then out of bounds. 3:43 left to go in the first half. So Lafayette will get 5 yards for Lambert. 3rd and 5 for Lambert now. Tyre takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws that one over to Lafayette once more. Lafayette powers ahead for the first down.
Yeah.
Taiwo Ogundele
And
gets the
it
tackle.
might have been roughing the passer by Moores. And that could tack on a whole lot of yardage.
And they already got the first down, so that could move them up a lot more than Sequoyah wants them to.
And with 3:02 left, might move them to the 50, past the 50.
And they do call roughing the passer. So players walking forward quite a bit.
Yeah.
The first down marker would have been at Lambert's 45, but instead they'll move him forward to Sequoiah's 40. 3 minutes, 2 seconds left to go. Lambert on top still, 21-0. And Lambert 1st and 10 as the clock winds past 3 minutes. And Tyre has 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. And he looks to his left, not to a receiver, but to Ethan Terry. Throws that one just over Terry's head. Terry able to get a hand on it, not make the catch, though.
Walker Beck was applying instant pressure to Tyre right there. So he had to kind of feel that pressure and wanted to get it to Terry immediately.
Yeah, and if you're Sequoiah's defense, you know, Tyre and Lambert have really been mixing it up with running and passing. So sometimes it can be hard to maintain that pressure when you have to worry about guys that are running past you, maybe looking for a big pass from Tyre. 2nd and 10 now for Lambert. Tyre with 2 receivers on each side now. And he's nearly sacked, but is able to shake off a tackle, and he's finally brought down.
Carter Leggetti on that play. And finally, he gets the title of first Chief to sack Tyre.
First of many who have tried.
Yeah. It's like the sword in the stone. Can't really get it. Finally, someone gets it. Carter Leggetti, and that's a huge sack.
A well-deserved one, too. He was staying with him.
Yeah.
He was on the ground, had a hold of him there, able to bring him down by his jersey.
And now it's 3rd and extra long.
Infinity, as you like to say, Max.
3rd and infinity, almost like 3rd and 25.
Something. Too many to count.
Too many yards. That's going to be a timeout for Lambert.
First timeout of the game. So we'll bring you inside the booth here. 1:58 left to go in this opening night of Sequoyah football, the first home match.
And I'm thinking this could be a huge stop for Sequoyah. I mean, 1:58 left. They have, I mean, if they pass like if they continue passing on the next possession, if they stop them right here like they have been, I mean, a score going to halftime, like we said, wouldn't be bad. So I think Jack Mine and Teeter have to have that in the back of their mind here.
Yeah, and again, especially considering Lambert is going to receive the kickoff in the first half. So Sequoyah, yes, this is a very big stop if they're able to do it. And, you know, I think it's definitely achievable. I mean, this 3rd and, like, 25, like you said. So even with Lambert's big passing plays, it would take almost 2 and 1 for that to happen for them.
So we'll see the teams come back onto the field now. And Lambert's all the way back into their own territory now on their 48.
Yeah, that really was a big sack.
Yeah.
A big sack by Carter Leggetti there.
And I think that just shows volumes about how effective the sacks are against Tyre, because we saw then he tries to run away, but if the Chiefs continue applying pressure, he's going to get eventually farther and farther back.
You may not be able to get one, but when you get one, you get a lot of yardage for it.
3rd down.
So Tyre again has 2 receivers to his left and right, and he rolls back almost immediately, heaves it downfield. Lafayette makes the catch, but quickly met by Breton Darling. So again, a very nice reception there, probably 15-yard reception, but they're still short of the original first down marker, So 4th and 12 for the Longhorns. I think they're going for it though. Yeah, Tyre remains on the field.
A big 4th down.
And I mean, they probably don't really have much to lose here. It's 1:23. They're up by 21. This could probably be one of the last 2 or 3 plays of the drive, or of the half,
And honestly, it's understandable why they're going for this. They're trying to waste as much time as they can for the Chiefs to even have a chance to score. And this field position is about average for these teams.
And they're going to use another one of their first half timeouts.
So maybe the clock wasn't a factor. I don't know, but maybe they are looking to score this possession.
You never know. Lambert certainly has the capability. We didn't think they were going to score when they were all the way at their 10-yard line, and then one play later they had a touchdown.
Unpredictable. Just Tyre having a phenomenal game overall for Lambert. And I think we talked about it a million times, but just his ability to get out of the pocket but also his receivers, when he's scrambling out of the pocket, his receivers have this understanding that he's not in trouble. He's always looking for his receivers, so his receivers seem to know they always need to continue looking to be looking for an opening.
Yeah, and even if he hustles right out of the pocket right away, which we've seen him do a couple times, and actually we see the punt unit coming on.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like the offensive coordinator, Tony Haynes, for Lambert, changes his mind, decides to play it safe with 1:06 left to go in the first half. And just back to what I was saying, even if Tyre does roll out immediately, you know, his head is on such a swivel that he's ready for any possible pressure, and that's why there's only been 1 sack when Sequoiah's had probably 5 or 6 chances and options for a sack.
And here's the punt. Oh.
And it bounces on the ground before he's able to get
And
it.
they
He
are
actually
a
runs
fake.
for it. I don't know if that was planned or not.
Wow.
He might have gotten the first down there.
I believe they're giving it to him by a yard.
Wow.
Unbelievable. A game of unpredictability continues.
I don't really know what to say there because
Me
it bounced on
either.
the ground, so I don't know
Yeah.
if that was intentional.
That's
but
a great point because, it bounced on the ground. I don't know if he thought since – I have no idea.
I'm going to say yes, that was probably intentional.
Yeah,
Either way, very well executed.
and a good speed against a good Sequoyah punt team.
So Lambert has another try with under a minute left to go. 1st and 10 at the Sequoyah 25. Wow.
And I don't know if that was the actual punter. It says it was Joseph Tripp, who was actually one of their running backs. I don't know if they
Yeah,
intentionally
it
put
wasn't,
their running back out there.
Degansky.
So maybe it was planned. I don't know.
I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah,
That may be the first fake punt I've ever seen in high
Yeah.
school football.
great play call by Coach Watson.
And Lambert uses their 3rd timeout. So 3 timeouts in the last 3 minutes. That's the way to do it.
That's the way the Longhorns choose to use them. They're putting a lot of trust and focus into this last drive. They really want to tack on some points, go into the locker room, and they are hoping to put a last blow on Sequoyah, but we know how much Sequoyah fights through and through.
Yeah, and if you're Brent Buddy, the defensive coordinator for Sequoyah, you're telling your guys right now on the sideline, guys, we have to get a stop now. We thought they were going to punt there, we would be fine. There's less than a minute to go, and we're down by 21. A stop here is huge.
Yeah, and I think Jack might have to be talking too. I mean, they had a lot of success overall, but 0 points does not show that at all.
Yeah.
And against a good Lambert team like this, 0 right now at least is not going to win it, and it's not going to win it this game.
Yeah, again, we've seen a lot of positive things.
Yeah.
The amount of receivers they've been able to use, the big passing plays, even the running plays have been good.
Yeah, that's what
Everything's been solid. It just hasn't been enough. That Lambert defense have been really solid.
Yeah. They have had a lot of positive looks. Their passing offense has really clicked this second quarter. But overall, no points on the board. They have a lot to improve on, but a lot to work with.
And Tyre fires that one over the middle, and Lafayette, I think, is going to be brought down just a yard short. And that was actually Mike Giappano for Lambert, excuse me. And Lambert quickly sets up once again. Tyre, 2 receivers to his left and his right. He'll choose to hand that one off. And he gets through the middle, and they're going to say that's a touchdown, I believe.
They
So
are.
touchdown, Lambert.
Yeah. 4th touchdown of the first half. All for the Longhorns.
That is not good news if you're Sequoyah. We really thought we were going to have a stop there. And Lambert, that was a very, very good fake punt and a great time to do it, too. I mean, under a minute left. I mean, Sequoiah's expecting, all right, we got the stop. We're going to go out of this first half only down by 3 touchdowns. Instead, they're down by 4, pending the extra point here.
And I think 3 and 4 touchdowns, it might not seem like it, but I think it's a huge, difference.
Oh, wow.
Blocked.
And none other than Cantrell Davis.
Yeah, Cantrell Davis.
That's
and
a big
Ty
stop
Morris.
from Cantrell. And you mentioned on the last extra point, he was running around hustling.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Davis that time. He was hustling like he usually does, but Ty Morris and a couple other Chiefs up the middle I mean, that has to give him some hope at least.
And that's great work ethic right there.
Yeah.
To see, I mean, hey, we're down by 27 points. I'm still going to go up and try to block that, and he did. That's very good effort there from Cantrell Davis.
That's one constant about the Chiefs. No matter the score, they continue to work hard. And I think that's something that they're going to continue into the second half because they know they have a lot to work with. They had a lot of potential on the offense with some great passing plays, and their defense, they got to Tyre a couple times. Leggetti with that sack and a lot of pressure on Tyre and great secondary performance, I will say. They have a lot to work with. It might seem like a daunting lead, but a comeback for the Chiefs, I wouldn't put it past my mind.
Yeah, and Max, excuse me. If Sequoyah can come back, I mean, 27-0, that if they can get a few touchdowns in the fourth quarter, that extra point could be a deciding factor. If they're able to score 2, maybe win by 1. I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but we can dream.
We can hope.
So 43.3 seconds left to go. Hey, the first half isn't over. Sequoyah may be able to do something with the last 20 seconds. You never know.
43 seconds.
Lambert was able to, Tyre was able to score a touchdown in 3 seconds. So,
I mean, I know every team wishes they had a player like Tyre, but we have our players too.
So Alex Mitchell, number 99, last man on the roster for Lambert, is kicking this one off.
And, you know, I will say continually long kicks by the Longhorns.
Oh, Hancock, nice run up the right side, and the sideline ref does throw a flag on the play. Seven seconds taken off the clock for that run. And I think Sequoyah will try and do something here with the last 40 seconds of this first half. I don't think they have anything to lose.
Yeah.
And I think the way they've been playing, they certainly should try. They've been certainly knocking on the door and coming close.
Yeah, that is flashbacks to that pass they had to Cam Massey. That was really close. They've had some chances, and I think Jackman on the offense will find a way to capitalize in that second half.
So it looks like it was a flag on Sequoyah because they spotted Sequoyah farther back than where Hancock ran out of bounds. They'll spot him at the 10-yard line, 1st and 10 for Sequoyah. 36.7 seconds left to go. Nesbitt has the receiver to his right and his left. And he chooses to hand that one off instead.
And they might just run the clock out here.
Chamanda with the run and gain of 2.
Clock running past 15 seconds now, second half. Probably just going to see him run out, but very honestly promising first half for Sequoyah. Good looks, but overall great showing by Lambert.
And Sequoyah does let the clock run out. So your final score this first half, Longhorns 27, Chiefs 0. And Max, I think really Sequoyah, it's very possible for them to get back in this game. I mean, obviously 4 scores down is a big deficit, but I think Sequoyah had a lot of really good looks. They had nice passing plays. Even the running plays were well. We saw a couple of pitch passes as well. So I think Sequoyah it would definitely be viable for them to get back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, with the way their defense is playing, I mean, they've let up a couple of big plays, I will say that, but their secondary has been consistent. We have Cantrell Davis in the secondary who is having a great game, and the pressure has been constant on Tyre. We've seen him be mobile outside the pocket, being forced to run. I think if they capitalize on those defensive stops and not let up the big plays, they have a chance to get back in this game. I'm not going to go too far to say they could easily win this game in a blowout, but they have a chance.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a tough obstacle for Sequoyah to overcome because, as we've mentioned a few times now, Lambert receives the second half kickoff, and with the quickness that they've been able to perform with throughout the game, I mean, they could put Sequoyah in an even bigger deficit. So Sequoyah's defense is really going to have to come out and put their foot on the door of Lambert's offense so Sequoyah's offense can get something going here in this second half. So with that, we will send it down to the field and let you watch the band performance for this year. Max and I will be back at the beginning of the second half with about a couple minutes after the band is done performing. So we will see you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Principal Mr. Robert Van Alstyne and Athletic Director Mr. Peter Morgan, Sequoyah High School proudly presents the award-winning Sequoyah High School Marching Band of Chiefs. The Band of Chiefs is under the direction of the Director of Bands, Mr. Casey Eubanks. Additional band instructors include Dennis Lawler, Matt Jefferson, JoJo Leet, Daniel Krasner, Bailey Waddell, and Scott Jones. The student band leadership includes Hannah Law, Ryan Ellicott, DJ Colonna, Kristen Lawrence, Jack Tucker, Kayla Rakowski, Clay Tucker, and Matthew Lawler. The percussion captains are Zion Terry and Zador Jim Charles. Color guard captains are Emma Johnson and Kinsley Mitchell. And the band captain is Zador Jim Charles. Tonight's show is entitled Haunted and features original music by Frank Sullivan. Tonight's show is under the field direction of drum majors Kate Johnston, Maya Tom, and Ethan Sorrell. Drum majors, is your band ready to take the field in halftime performance? You may now take the field.
the phone. Answer it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Sequoyah High School marching band of Chiefs. In 2022, the Sequoyah High School Symphony Band has been selected and performed at Athens, Georgia at the 2022 Georgia Music Educators In-Service Conference. The band has most recently been selected to perform in the Southeastern United States Band Clinic held in Troy, Alabama. Congratulations on these outstanding accomplishments. How about one more round of applause for your Sequoyah High School marching band of Chiefs?
Chiefs.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast here with Will Hogendijk and Max Swain as we bring you the Lambert Longhorns and the Sequoyah Chiefs. With just under a minute left to go before we start this second half, the Longhorns are on top of the Chiefs 27-0. Max, break it down a little bit for us, what we saw in the first half.
Well, Will, I'll say a great showing by Lambert. 27 points scored. I think we saw the pure athleticism of Tyre, the ability to escape the pressure overall, and the defense by Lambert made some crucial stops on fourth down and just some great plays overall to stop the Sequoyah offense. And Sequoyah, their defense looked promising. They gave up a couple big plays, and their offense also looked promising. They honestly had a great passing game in that latter of the first quarter and almost all of the second quarter. There's a lot to look forward to. In a game like this, they could have a chance in some universe. Hopefully it's ours, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Sequoyah definitely had a lot of good looks and a lot of positive things that came out of the first quarter, or the first half, excuse me. They did have that near touchdown in the first quarter. They were very close. It's within about 10 yards. So a lot of things that they can improve on coming out of the first half. Lambert will receive the second half kickoff, so a chance to pile on even more points, which is not what you want to hear if you're a Sequoyah fan, already down by almost 4 touchdowns. So the Sequoyah defense is really going to have to step it up here if they want to give their offense a chance.
Yeah. And I think that's you said that a couple times in the first half, how Lambert is going to get that second half. They're going to get the first possession of the second half. And I think this is a huge, it might not be it's not just a huge opportunity for Lambert to tack on even more points, but it's a huge opportunity for Sequoyah to come out in the second half, hopefully like a brand new team with some new energy, and they can make a huge stop at the open of the second half.
Yeah, and that first half, I think they were definitely all very excited to get the season started. They all had a lot of energy. I think the biggest representation of that was Cantrell Davis. He had a phenomenal first half. He didn't, obviously he didn't score any points. We still have 0 points, but he played very well. He had 2 great pass coverages that broke up what could have been very sizable receptions.
Yeah.
As well as the blocked punt, which, if Sequoyah is able to come back, that could be a difference maker in this game.
Yeah, the blocked extra point really did help, yeah.
So, under 2 minutes now left to go before we can resume the action down on the field. And you got to wonder, Max, Nesbitt did do a very good job as quarterback, but in that fall scrimmage, we did see a couple other quarterbacks get some reps. We saw Luke McCray and Hunter Scoggins, I believe, was the other one.
Yeah.
I think Nesbitt's probably going to be the main quarterback for the beginning of the second half, but who knows? Coach Cheerleader could change it up a little bit, maybe throw in some different quarterbacks. We know he's certainly done that with his receivers. We've seen at least 5 different intended receivers, possibly more than that.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing we saw in the scrimmage. Nesbitt he wasn't doing terrible, but I guess Teeter wanted something different, and he put in some new quarterbacks. And I think Nesbitt is throwing very accurately. He threw very accurately in the first half, but resulted in no points. So maybe Teeter might want something different. I don't know, but I think Nesbitt might deserve the start because I think he had a promising first half.
Yeah, the only exception to that was that little screen, or we thought was a screen pass. We weren't really sure what happened on that drive, but otherwise, yeah, he's been doing a great job of not only getting the ball off quickly, but also very accurately. Hasn't been, I think there was maybe one pass incompletion, but that was, I think, to Cameron Massey when he just slipped on the play. But yeah, very accurate and quick quarterback that we have in Nesbitt. I can tell he's been putting in a lot of work over the summer. I know that talking to some players before the summer, I was told that he could be a little nervous when he had to get the ball off quickly and maybe it wasn't as accurate, but I think he's definitely put in work knowing that he could be the guy that maybe is in that starting role. And I think, if you're Coach Teeter, that starting role maybe still hasn't been defined. Obviously, Nesbitt started, but, that fall scrimmage, we saw him try a few different guys out, and they all did very well. I mean, McCray was the guy who threw both touchdowns, but Nesbitt's also had a very promising first half.
Yeah, and I think we definitely have to mention that it's only the first game.
Absolutely.
First game, Nesbitt is having a great game, but Teeter has 9 more games to see if he wants to change his quarterback. Right now, I'm pretty sure Nesbitt is having a good performance, but we'll see what Teeter has up his sleeve.
He's definitely making his case for the starting quarterback position, but enough about the Sequoyah offense. We'll have to turn to the Sequoyah defense and that powerful, powerful Lambert offense as Sequoyah and Daniel Cruz will kick it off to start this second half. 12 minutes on the clock, ready for a fresh half of high school football. Here's Daniel Cruz, kicks that off. And Christian Smith makes the reception. He'll run up that right side, find a few gaps, break a few tackles. And he's brought down right in front of the Sequoyah tent, so we are unable to see there. But either way, some nice yards after the catch there.
And we'll see James Tyre again. Can still picture that 73-yard run. Traumatized, but here comes Tyre and the offense. He's got Lafayette in the backfield with him.
And Max, I think a name that we might hear more often this half is Ethan Terry. He was the 3rd in rushing yards last season, but we only called his name a couple times. Obviously, there's a lot of talent on the Lambert offense as Tyre receives that snap, and he does hand it off to Ethan Terry. Terry and Tyre, that could be a dynamic duo right there.
We saw a lot of Chiefs there. We saw Ridley Joseph, Ty Moores, and Taiwo Gundale all getting to Terry right there. Chiefs are coming out with some energy, attacking the ball. 2nd down and 12.
So nice loss there for Lambert. And Lafayette will find a quick gap, and he's got some wheels. Similar to the Tyre situation, he's not going to be caught, and that's a Longhorns touchdown. Well, Max, it only took 56 seconds.
Well, I am speechless about the score, but that's speed. Like, Lafayette, he has kind of just been running up the gut this whole game on the outside. He hasn't really gotten a break this whole game. But I guess if you give him open grass, we'll get what we just got right there. 6 points for the Longhorns. What a showing.
So that's what we were fearing, Max, is a touchdown right out of the gate for Lambert. Definitely puts Sequoyah in a much more difficult situation than they already had. They were already down by 4 scores. Now it's going to be almost 5. We'll see if Cantrell Davis maybe blocks another extra point. That'd be nice for Sequoyah. Give him some momentum.
Another attempt. But
he was almost there. Yeah. But that does sail through, so 34-0 quickly.
Very quickly.
Lambert Longhorns waste no time in scoring another touchdown. And again, they are on top 34-0. And Sequoyah comes out with less than a minute wasted on the clock, so that's good news for them. They have plenty of time to work with in the 3rd quarter for their first drive.
And we were saying at the end of the first half, Sequoyah has nothing to lose. I mean, after that score, they have nothing to lose. They need to put every play they have into these possessions if they want to have any chance of getting back in this game.
Yeah, and if you're the offensive coordinator, Coach Jackmine, that's what you got to tell your guys. Say, hey, look, we've been doing great all this game. We just got to get past that threshold that's been keeping us from scoring. We got to get all the way. We got to score some points, put some points on the board, even if it's just getting close enough to at least get a field goal. We got to get something just to get us going. That'll give us the momentum to get us started.
And usually that threshold, their first down runs gains a couple yards, but on those second down runs, they gain little to no yards, and sometimes they've been losing those yards on those second down runs that have been putting the pressure on the passing game and on Nesbitt in the pocket to make big plays to Conte and Massey.
So Lambert boots that one off. Tyler Bell with the reception. He'll hustle forward up the middle. Flag is on the field, and it looks like Bell's towel came off.
Yeah,
there.
they rip out his towel.
Not that that's the flag, just
No.
commentating.
And I believe the flag is going to be against the Chiefs. Another blow to Sequoyah. Let's see what the call is. It's going to be holding on the return. That's going to push them back even farther.
So more bad news for Sequoyah. And, you know, flags haven't been too much of an issue. They really just have come at the wrong times for Sequoyah. You know, I think that's the second time we've seen it straight off the kickoff where they had a nice run. I think the last one was Nesbitt at the end of the second quarter there where he ran out of bounds, but then there was another flag, so it brought him back a few yards. Either way, Nesbitt has Conti to his left, I believe. And I'm not sure who we handed that one off to. Probably either Hancock or Bell, if I had to guess. Oh, wait, it looks like it was Chimanda.
Yeah, I believe it was Asante Chimanda.
And Chimanda's been a running back that they've been going to here and there. We've seen him a couple times, not as much as Bell or Hancock, but a secret weapon that they've been able to use.
Yeah,
for sure.
he's reliable, definitely. Second down and I believe 8.
So Massey to Nesbitt's right. He's under center. He'll roll out, look to his left.
Close one. That was tipped. A good play by Tommy Morris of the Lambert defense.
Cruz Wright was the intended receiver. Not usually calling Cruz Wright's name for a pass. Usually he's the running back.
It was a kind of a tight gap to fit that ball into.
Yeah, but again, there's another player that we didn't really think was a receiver, and Lambert probably didn't either because that's the first time we've seen Cruz Wright on the field tonight. But he's showing that he can be a receiving target as well. So Tyler Bell to Nesbitt's left. Wright and Hancock behind him. And he is looking, I thought he was looking left. It looks like he was up the center.
Yeah, I think he might have been looking for Ty Moores.
The only the only Chief that was there was Ty Moores. There was about 4 or 5 Longhorns behind him.
But nonetheless, that's going to be 4th down. And just like that, ball right back into the Longhorns' hands.
Another quick 3-and-out. We had a couple of those, Max, and they came at very bad times for Sequoyah. Longhorns have already scored this quarter. Sequoyah does not want to let that happen again. There's only 10, there's still 10:07 left, so not even 2 minutes have been taken off the clock. And if you are Daniel Cruz, you need to get that punt far, far away from your half.
And I believe timeout for Sequoyah.
I doubt they're going to be drawing up something as exciting as a fake punt.
I mean, you never know. like we said, nothing to lose right now. But this would be very interesting field placement to do it. Almost inside their 10. Their own 10?
I highly doubt it. They're probably just making sure they're all on the same page.
I mean, you love to see the excitement, but
yes.
don't want to be too risky, and I think Coach Teeter knows that. But we'll see what he
definitely got to play
decides.
conservatively when you're that close to your end zone and already down by almost 5 touchdowns. Daniel Cruz receives the snap. He's not pressured at all, so he's able to get that kickoff.
Pretty good
easily.
punt.
Very nice punt from him. Still not enough to get it past the 50-yard line, so Lambert is already within Sequoiah's half of the field with 9:59 left to go in the third quarter. The Lambert Longhorns on top of the Sequoyah Chiefs 34-0.
And now we'll see that offense from Lambert. Tyre still on the field with Terry in the backfield. And we got Brandon Jones and I believe that is Dan Shamel, no, pardon me, Carter Chung out there to receive.
So quarterback James Tyre will get the handoff, or get the snap and hand it off to Ethan Terry, who runs up the middle for an easy first down. That was a quick one too. He ran up. He had some explosive speed.
Yeah, these running backs are really showing their power and explosiveness right these past couple plays. Especially that run from Lafayette. We saw him just burst up the middle. A good sign for Sequoyah. I think they have their fan support because I don't see many people leaving. And some people might consider the Chiefs out of this game, but all of Sequoyah community has hope into the Chiefs team. Great to see. And there's a flag on the field.
Some pre-snap motion there. Not sure which side it was from. And the white hat calls a false start on Lambert. So some good news for the Chiefs. That'll bring Lambert back 5 yards. So 1st and 15 with 9:16 left to go in the third quarter. And Tyre sets up on the left hash. He's got 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. And he'll choose to hand that one off to Terry. Terry runs up the side, the left side that is. And Brenton Darling not able to make the tackle. Touchdown Longhorns.
And that's 40. 40 for Lambert. What a game this has turned into. And here is the extra point. (41-0) is your score. 9:01. I repeat, only 3 minutes have ticked off in this third quarter.
2:59, not even 3 minutes.
Pardon me.
So 41-0. Lambert on top of Sequoyah.
Just realized that's the thing that shocks me the most right now. Only 2:59 has ticked off.
There's only been 3 drives and 2 of them have been touchdowns. So Lambert not wasting any time.
No time. And it's those big plays. I said at halftime, if Sequoyah can maybe find a way to stop these big plays that Lambert is having, they could easily find a way to get back in it. But the 2 possessions that Lambert has had this half have been explosive runs for 40, 50 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, not to mention Sequoyah hasn't been doing themselves many favors. They've been giving Lambert really, really good field positioning. They've been making it very easy for Lambert. And Lambert just running up the score sheet, getting all kinds of stats on Sequoyah tonight. Sequoyah's still not out of it. I mean, we do have 21 minutes to play. You never know what can happen.
And I don't think we should take away from that first half performance. That was pretty promising, but I don't know. Lambert came out with a new energy. They wanted to just tack on even more points, and Sequoyah could not do anything about it.
So another solid punt from the Lambert special teams crew will result in the first touchback for Sequoyah.
now we'll see the Sequoyah offense. I don't know, a 41-point deficit. Teeter might think of putting in another QB. I'm not for sure. But he does not. Nesbitt is back onto the field with Massey out to receive on the close side of the field.
He's also got Cruz Wright and Tyler Bell for possible running options. Nesbitt sets up under center. He's got Massey to his left, and he does keep that one. Looking to his left, fires it up the middle. Oh, big play by Hancock. Is he able to stay on his feet? He is, and he's running all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Chiefs!
Finally, Chiefs are on the board.
And boy, did we need that here at Skip Pope Stadium.
We needed something. The fans loved it. And the great ability, balance by Hancock to stay on his feet there. That play could have easily stopped at about the 30. But Jackson Hancock able to maintain his balance, his footing, and his speed.
That was awesome. 14 seconds taken off the play on that one. Both teams are moving very quickly.
Yes.
In 4 drives, there's been 3 touchdowns scored. So Daniel Cruz with his first try for an extra point here tonight. And he is able to put that one through. So 41-7, some new life injected into Skip Pope Stadium here. Just some people were getting down. Jackson Hancock puts them on their feet with a big touchdown, a lot of yardage for him. That's got to feel really good for Sequoyah. Their first score of the year goes to Jackson Hancock.
And we saw on that scrimmage against Denmark, oh, that was Luke McCray. I was going to say that pass to Dominic Ulloa, but honestly, that was one of our first showings of Luke Nesbitt, of Jackson Nesbitt showing his arm strength down the field. That was a phenomenal pass. Hancock, great speed to get by the defender. Overall, great play. I mean, continue on that. Some stops here and there. I wouldn't say they're completely out of the game.
So Daniel Cruz and the Chiefs set up to kick it off back to Lambert. And Christian Smith makes the reception. He'll run up the left side. He's got some speed. He almost breaks a tackle from a Chief, but he is not able to. Drew Zablotny with the tackle. So Lambert with the worst field positioning they've had since the first half.
Yeah.
Which is great news for Sequoyah. That makes it easier on the defense. And, you know, as many points as Lambert has scored, Sequoyah, I mean, they have been doing a good job on defense. It's just this Lambert offense is a force to be reckoned with. There is so many good players. I mean, and it's all led by James Tyre, the phenomenal quarterback, who sets up in the pocket, hands it off to Ethan Terry. Oh, wait, that is not Tyre. I believe that's James Thorson, the 5'7" junior quarterback. The first time we've seen him or called his name tonight. And Thorson hands that one off. That handoff was to Dane Schimmel. So it looks like head coach Mark Beach may be sending on a couple guys that haven't gotten as many reps yet. So interesting to see from Lambert. Obviously they are up by almost 5 touchdowns, but I mean, Sequoyah, that injected some energy into the team.
Into the crowd,
They certainly don't think they're out of it yet, with the crowd behind him. So Thorson gets that snap. He rolls out to his left, and he throws it to his left, and that's intercepted by Bretton Darling. Bretton Darling runs all the way. Touchdown, Chiefs!
Wow. Pick 6. Darling read that perfectly, and Thorson did not see Darling coming.
Sequoiah's back into this game, baby. (41-13), your new score. So every time Sequoyah comes on the field, they're scoring points. 4 touchdowns already in this second half. 7:10 left to go in the third quarter. We got a game on our hands all of a sudden.
With this extra point, 27 away. Better than 41.
And you got chip away little by little. And Daniel Cruz puts that extra point up.
Good.
41-14.
I'm going to say good game. Good showing by Daniel Cruz. His punts have been good. Even in the end zone when he had little to no room to move, he has gotten his punts away quick. His kicks have been great. And he's 2 for 2 an extra point.
Yeah, and that's another thing I think he's definitely been working on in the offseason. You know, we mentioned how Sequoiah's punting and kicking was really not as good as it had been, you know, coming off of Steven Zarita. It's hard to compare to that level. But I think, again, Daniel Cruz especially has been working this summer, and that's showed this fall, or showed this game and this fall, made 2 extra points, had some nice punts as well.
And now we're going to see Thorson and the Lambert offense come back onto the field. See, maybe they might put Tyre back in. I'm not for sure.
Yeah, Sequoyah is certainly knocking at the door. And although it is still a big deficit that they are in, I think it was 27 points you said, Max. The way Sequoyah is going to get this chip away at this lead is touchdown by touchdown, score by score. So Daniel Cruz again kicks it off for the second time in a short duration. Hey, and just like we were talking about how good Daniel Cruz's kicking is, there's his first touchback of the season.
Yeah, usually in NFL and college, touchbacks aren't looked on as like great kicks, but in high school, just getting the ball down there, that is a great sign.
Yeah, especially when it's against a team like Lambert, who really, it doesn't matter where you put him, but farther back is more helpful. So it'll be interesting to see. And yes, they do put Tyre back in the game. So Mark Beach starting to realize that Sequoyah is not out of this game. They're not giving up. They're going to stick with it and stay in it. 7:10 left to go in the third quarter. 41-14, Longhorns on top of the Chiefs. Tyre hands that one off to Lafayette. Lafayette rumbles ahead for about 5 yards.
Second and 8 now for the Longhorns.
So Tyre in the pocket. He's got 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, and he'll choose to hand that one off to Lafayette once again. He'll rumble ahead for the first down.
Two run plays in a row.
So, Max, as much as it's important for Sequoyah to score, they also have to be able to put up defensive stops because Lambert subbed back in their starting quarterback, and he's a big threat.
Yeah, and those interceptions, that was the first of the season for Sequoyah, so those aren't just going to be coming plentifully. They're going to have to make some defensive stops like you said, Will.
So Tyre in the pocket for the 1st and 10. Similar setup as last play. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. They're set up in the middle hash. And after he hands off, the play is blown
False
dead.
start. That's an advantage for the Chiefs.
5:47 left to go in the third quarter. And what a third quarter it's been. 4 touchdowns already. And we still have almost half of it left to go. 41-14. Lambert Longhorns on top of the Sequoyah Chiefs. A 1st and 15 for Lambert. And he'll hand that one off to Ethan Terry.
Good
He's
tackle.
brought down quickly by Bretton Darling, who just had that pick 6.
Gain of 2. 2nd and 13.
And Max, one thing we forgot to mention, obviously that pick 6 was not on Tyre, but Tyre only had 1 interception all of last year.
Yeah.
His touchdown to interception ratio was off the charts. He
Like
had 15 passing touchdowns and 4 rushing touchdowns.
15-1.
Yeah.
A marvel to think about.
And I'm sure his sacks were pretty down there as well.
Yeah.
And we saw Carter Leggetti get a sack on him earlier. They're going to need someone to step up, Sequoyah is, and get another sack possibly, as he hands that one off to Lafayette.
And he gets a good gain. 7 at least. Third and 5.
4:16 left to go in the third quarter. 3rd and 5 for Lambert. Tyre sets up with Lafayette to his left, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. And he does hand that one off to Lafayette. Lafayette looks like he has some room, but he's hit, and that may be a fumble. Hancock gets it.
And the Chiefs are not giving up. What did I say?
And that's a fumble recovery. Sequoyah is certainly battling here. Wow, Sequoyah, they've just been doing a really, really good job of sticking with it.
Yeah.
It was 41-0 just 4 minutes ago.
known for their spear and sticking in there. Jackmine trying to get this offense pumped up after what was a good drive last time.
So just to quickly recap the third quarter, a lot has happened.
First, it was Lambert. Came out, 2 quick scores in, I believe, less than 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was 1 minute and 59 seconds. They scored 2 touchdowns in.
And now Sequoyah, pick 6, and, well, 2 total touchdowns, and now they have the ball right back.
A flag on that play. Yeah, Sequoyah had that Nesbitt to Hancock connection, that reception, and Hancock almost didn't stay on his feet. He was tripping over himself there for a second, but he was able to run it all the way down to the end zone for a very, very nice touchdown. That put some life into the stadium. And then on, 2-3 plays later maybe, Bretton Darling, pick 6, put even more life into the stadium. And with a fumble recovery there, Sequoyah's defense really, really stepping up here. Pick 6 and a fumble, giving their offense an opportunity here.
First and 15.
3:51 left to go. Nesbitt keeps that one. He rolls to his left. He finds a gap, is tripped up.
I think at about the line of scrimmage. Good way to recover from that pressure.
He was tripped up by Steven Aguilar, the defensive tackle, 5'10 senior. And Alex Conti gets subbed on for Cameron Massey. And Hancock comes on for Chimanda. 3:22 left to go in the third quarter. 41-14. Lambert on top of Sequoyah. 2nd and 13 for Sequoyah. Nesbitt has a receiver to each side. He finds Hancock, and that one's intercepted by Lambert. And they've got some blockers.
That's Tommy Morris.
Tommy Morris, is going to be able to stop? He is pushed from behind by Nesbitt. Actually, that was Nesbitt who got him. Either way, the damage has been done. So after Chiefs get a break in a Jackson Hancock fumble recovery, they give up an interception. So not good news for Sequoyah, just after they had some momentum going. However, Lambert they did not score, so Sequoyah can still put up a stop, and a big stop is what they need for sure.
Yeah, Lambert going to get the ball on the Chiefs' 10. Good field position. They've had good starting field position about inside the 20. I think this is their 3rd time.
Yeah, and Max, I think every time they've started with inside the 10 or, I mean, even 15 probably, they've scored a touchdown, which isn't surprising considering how good of a team they are. But definitely a good ratio there.
And I think that's just something that Sequoyah has to work on, is where they give their opponent the ball. They have to look to that for future games, as Lafayette is in the Wildcat.
Yeah, Lafayette powers ahead. We saw that happen. I believe that was in the first half where Lafayette all of a sudden came out and took a snap for Tires. That must be a strategy. When they're within about 10 yards, they'll just have Lafayette see if he can run it up through the middle. Give quarterback James Tire a bit of a break. So 2:35 left to go in the third quarter. Longhorns up 41 on the Chiefs to 14, looking to add to that score, the Longhorns are. And Lafayette tries running that one up the middle again, but Sequoyah is ready for it this time.
I think I got a little bit of a loss that play, maybe. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
Looks like we'll give them 1 yard on that.
Yeah. Third and goal from, I believe, the 2.
So the clock winding under 2 minutes. Lafayette still the quarterback. And he tries to run that one to the right side. Breaks off a tackle from Rowan Steele. Tries the left side. And he's able to get into that pylon, but there is a couple flags in the play. And there is a Sequoyah player down on the field as well.
There were a couple blocks in the back there, I believe. Because one Chief got pushed into another and got tripped up. And that is Ridley Joseph. Hopefully he's okay.
He's getting up. It looks like he's all right. They called the trainers out onto the field, but Ridley got up. Yeah, Ridley got up before they were able to make it on. So good news for the Chiefs. Ridley's a player we don't want to see injured. A defensive and offensive presence he is. So 1:40 left to go on the clock.
Yeah, and that's going to be a flag on Lambert. That's going to push him back a decent amount.
So good news for Sequoyah. Potential for a big 3rd down stop here.
15-yard penalty. That's going to be all the way back to about the 16 or 17-yard line.
Yeah, I was going to say they were in within the 1 or 2 yard line there. So Sequoyah's a big opportunity to put up a stop and give their offense another shot to put some more points on the board and chip away at the Lambert lead. Tire is back on the field. He's got 3 receivers to his right. He throws that one to Ethan Terry, and he's met by a Chief, but there is another flag on the play. I believe that was Cameron Walker who made the tackle.
See what the call is. Holding on the offense, and that is declined. It's going to be 4th down. Great stop by the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's a very, very, very big help from Sequoyah. It's very possible that Lambert might go for the field goal. Tack on a few more points.
So here comes the kick.
The Lambert field goal unit is out. We'll see if Cantrell Davis and the Sequoyah defense can maybe put up a block here. And I don't know if that was tipped, but that is no good. So great job from the Sequoyah defense. They've really been stepping up when it comes to these extra points and the field goals.
Big stop.
Yeah, that's very good news for the Sequoyah offense, because that means they still got the same amount of points to come back, obviously, which is still 27. But I think they can certainly do it because, I mean, they scored points on their defense and offense, so if they can do a 1-2 punch like they did to get the first 14 points on the board, that deficit could be closed before we know it.
So we'll see this offense come out back on the field for the Chiefs. Jackson Nesbitt at the helm. I see Cameron Massey out at the receiver position, and that is it for the Chiefs. First down and 10.
Tyler Bell is in that slot position, so he might roll out as another option for Nesbitt, and he does not. He's going to choose to hand that one off.
And man,
I think that was Chamanda who was handed off to.
the Longhorns are just piling on the Chiefs.
So a minute left to go in the third quarter, excuse me. Longhorns still leading Sequoyah 41-14. Sequoyah had a nice drive at the end of the first quarter that they were not able to capitalize on in the second quarter. Let's see if they can put something together to end the third and begin the fourth. 2nd and 10 for Sequoyah. Nesbitt gets the snap, rolls out to his left. Breaks a couple tackles, he's still on his feet. Oh, and he's brought down.
That was a big hit.
Yeah, that was a big hit from Elijah Castillo.
You could hear that from up here. Hopefully Nesbitt's okay. He gets up like he is. But good attempt at a scramble there. But that sets up a 3rd and 11. Gonna need a big passing play here. Let's see what Nesbitt and the Chiefs can do. We've seen them go to a lot of different receivers. We've been talking about it all night, but I believe it's going to be a timeout. Pardon me, it's going to be end of the third quarter. End of the third quarter. Quite an interesting one. Went into halftime 27-zip. Lambert came out, scored 14 points in
Less than 2 minutes into the third quarter, we were down 41-0, and then, well, Max summarized what happened. How did we get those points?
All of a sudden, the Chiefs get the ball back with some new hope. Nesbitt launches the ball backfield. Hancock catches it, stays on his feet. Touchdown, Chiefs. Very next possession, Darling reads the pass completely perfectly, and that's a pick six. 41-14. Score stayed the same the rest of that third quarter, and now we're on to the fourth where, I mean, a couple big plays, stops here and there. The Chiefs could get right back into it, but we'll see how they do on this possession right here.
That was excellent recapping, Max.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
well done. And not to mention, I think that big stop by the Sequoyah defense, I'm not sure if that attempted field goal was blocked or not.
I don't know.
But
it was missed nonetheless.
It didn't go in.
Yeah,
it didn't go in, and that's good news for Sequoyah. So the score remains 41-14 with 12 brand new minutes on the clock for the fourth and presumably final quarter of play in this home opener for the Sequoyah Chiefs on this senior night here at Sequoyah. So before the game, all the seniors were recognized for football, the football managers, all the cheerleaders. They were all got to walk to the middle of the field with their family, get their pictures taken. And it is toga night. That is the spirit theme.
Yeah,
Gold
gold
and
and toga.
All the seniors are wearing togas, and everyone else is wearing gold in the student section. Had a pretty solid student section, too. Been able to hear them, especially in that Hancock touchdown and the pick six. So Nesbitt hands that one off to Hancock. Hancock not able to get any forward progress. So he'll be dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up fourth down for Sequoyah.
We'll see the punt team here. Play clock running down.
Daniel Cruz gets the snap. He's able to get the punt off in time. It's a little bit low. It does bounce, and the Sequoyah defense will give it a nice favorable bounce. So that's past the Sequoyah half of the field. I'm not sure if there's a flag on the play, though.
So we'll see if Sequoyah can put up another good stop. They had that great showing in their own territory against Lambert on the last possession. Held them to a field goal, and they missed it.
It does look like Sequoyah has a penalty. Jimmy Anderson conferring with the refs, just, I think, trying to find out what it's all about. So this clock is stopped at 11:09 here in the fourth. Still 41-14. And the call is a personal foul against Sequoyah. So Lambert still in their own territory, just not as far back as they were.
The concession stand will be closing in 5 minutes. Go make your final purchases now. If you're hungry, feed yourself.
I gotta say, Max, it's nice not having to broadcast or having kickoff at 8:53. I know in the fall scrimmage, it was delayed a little bit, like an hour and 20 minutes, I think, because of lightning. So it's nice to be able to start at 7:30.
Yeah.
When football games usually start.
8:53 probably would have been like 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Probably would only be like maybe halftime.
Yeah. Maybe not even.
Yeah. But here we go.
1st and 10. So Lambert is just inside Sequoyah territory. Lafayette gets the handoff from Tyre.
And Lafayette has really impressed me the second half. He didn't get as many handoffs. It was kind of balanced in the first half. But now it's kind of been focused on Terry and Lafayette.
Yeah, Lafayette has been their go-to running back. And 2 receivers to each side for Tyre. Tyre fires over the right side, but that ball hits the ground before it hits the receiver's hands. So it's an incomplete pass. 2nd and 4 for Lambert. 10:46 left to go in the 4th quarter. Also, Max, it's nice to have the band.
It is,
In the past 2 games, we broadcast the spring scrimmage and the fall scrimmage. We haven't had the band, but it's nice to have them here. Really builds the atmosphere for the game. Saw them perform during the halftime. So 3rd and 4 for Lambert. Tyre looks over to his left.
Just overthrown.
Fires with the intended receiver being Nathan Downey. Incomplete, however.
Just
so
out of
4th and
reach.
4. Another defensive stop from Sequoyah. And Lambert does send on their punt unit. So 2 nice defensive stops for Sequoyah in a row. We'll see if the offense, Sequoyah's offense, can respond with a touchdown of their own. Hancock back to receive the punt for Sequoyah. He's at about the 5-yard line. And they get the snap. It's punted up and away. And Jackson will watch that one bounce for a touchback. So Sequoyah will start at the 20-yard line. 10:35 left to go in the 4th quarter, and presumably the game.
An important possession right here for Sequoyah. I would say if they want to have a chance to probably come back in this game, this is probably a key possession.
Yeah, I think you're right, Max. If they do want to score, they're still down by 27, and they're going to need to start capitalizing on every drive they get. Even if it's just a field goal, they got to start getting points on the board. But, you know, I think a good thing is, I mean, they might be able to allow maybe one drive where they don't get it on the offense because the defense did have the pick 6 as well as the fumble recovery. And, I mean, we know how many interceptions they had last year. Jackson Hancock alone had 7.
Yeah.
And the defense really was a strength of last year, especially when we're talking about interceptions. So Nesbitt gets that one, rolls out to his left, and looks for the receiver, nearly intercepted. Intended receiver was Ty Moores, guarded heavily by Jack Ryan, the junior, for Lambert.
Here goes Sequoyah. 2nd and 10 still.
Nesbitt gets the handoff, or gets a snap and hands it off to Hancock, who's met by a couple Lambert players right at the line of scrimmage. And Massey was on the field for that one, and he'll be subbed out by his usual counterpart, Alex Conti. And I think that's been a pattern that's been working pretty well for the Chiefs, is that subbing out of Conti and Massey, just keeping the options open. I'm sure they both have their strengths and their weaknesses as receivers. You know, that just gives Nesbitt multiple options, especially considering, you know, Sequoyah, I don't want to say it's going to be a tone for the season, but I feel like they've been shying away from the running game a little bit more.
Yeah, at least more than last season.
They still have been, they still have been trying it, but they're definitely passing a lot more than they used to. It's definitely working out. Nesbitt rolls to his left, finds Ian Mariah. Mariah will make that reception at the line of scrimmage. He'll run up that sideline a little bit. He'll get some yardage. He'll get the first down.
First down and more. Around the 50.
A lot more.
Great gain.
A nice 30-yard run for him. Mariah also a star on the baseball team. We got to talk about him when we broadcast the River Ridge Sequoyah series, or at least one game of the series this past spring.
And that was one of the few plays we see where Nesbitt rolled out to his left, but he threw the opposite direction. I think that really worked really well, throwing the defense off.
Absolutely, and Nesbitt rolls out and throws to his left. Cameron Massey nearly has it, bobbles it in his hand over by the sideline. So 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs. And there's the Massey-Conti trade. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Max. That crossbody motion was something we talked a lot about last year with Matthew Trainer, but not something a ton that we have seen with Nesbitt. But, I mean, that was a nice play there. And Nesbitt steps back, quickly brought down. It came out of his hands. I don't know if they're going to say it was in throwing motion. Lambert did come on top of it.
I believe they might be calling it a pass. He threw a flag on the ground. So it was either a sack or a throwaway to no one for intentional grounding. I think he took the latter option. I think everyone on the field thought it was a fumble. Yeah, intentional grounding on Nesbitt.
Which is much better than a fumble for sure, because Lambert would have had great field positioning if they had recovered. Still not great field positioning for Sequoyah. It'll bring them back quite a bit.
I mean, it's about as even as a sack would have been on that play.
Yes, but it is still their possession.
Yeah.
3rd down, and Max, I think this would be a good time to say your signature line.
3rd down and about near infinity. Close to. But the Chiefs always have hope.
Nesbitt gets a snap. He does have 2 receivers to his right and his left. He looks to his left. Tyler Bell is wide open, and he runs past. Oh, he has a nice juke move and gets the first down. Big 3rd down conversion for the Chiefs. That shakeoff move is one for the highlight reel, for sure.
I believe that was junior Jack Ryan was the victim of that move, man.
Clean up on aisle 3.
Yeah. And that third and infinity turns into a big play in 1st down.
They went to infinity and beyond on that one. 1st and 10 for Sequoyah. Nesbitt rolls out of the pocket. He'll give that one to Cruz Wright, who will run up the right side. He shakes off a tackle. Is tackled out of bounds by Branson Brooks. So Sequoyah starting to get things moving. 8:25 left to go in the 4th quarter. Still 41-14. Longhorns on top.
I'm going to say it. This passing game is working really well.
Yes, it is. You know, we haven't seen nearly as much running game as we have, or as we did last season, or even previous seasons before that. But I mean, there's something about it that Sequoyah is just really gelling. They have a lot of receivers that they can go to. I mean, we saw Cruz right there, and we saw Tyler Bell. We've seen Alex Conti, Cameron Massey, Jackson Hancock. We even saw Ty Moores get a reception. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, it's a flag for Sequoyah.
And there was a flag on that play. I think it was
block in the back.
Illegal block in the black. Illegal block in the back. That's a tongue twister.
But that's going to be 1st and manageable.
Yeah, it looks like 1st and 4. So Nesbitt will get the snap. Hands it immediately off to Hancock, who does power ahead for the 1st down.
The Chiefs are rolling right now.
Yes, they are. There is 8 minutes left still. So that could be enough time, could not be, depending on what Chiefs we're talking about. But I think they've certainly shown that they can get down the field quickly.
Yeah.
Put together some plays.
I believe there's a timeout.
Yes, Lambert takes a timeout to rethink their strategy as Sequoiah's quickly approaching their end zone.
A very productive offensive drive, I might say.
Yeah, and I think the change between Sequoiah's offense in the first half and the second half has really been night and day. I mean, we didn't see them score any points. They've only scored 14, but, I mean, when you were down 41-0, a lot of people were like, man, I've kind of given up hope, but that Jackson Hancock touchdown and then the Breton Darling pick six right after that, that really put some life into the stadium, into the fans, the student section, into the booth here. We were hyped up about it.
Into the booth indeed. Very exciting game. Lots of scores this game. Lots of big explosive plays.
If this game is any indication of what the season is going to be,
Yeah.
I am very, very much looking forward to my senior season as a broadcaster and the 2022-23 season as Nesbitt heaves that one up. Cameron Massey, the intended receiver.
A good attempt. And Massey in the end zone and all of his receptions, he's a very physical receiver.
Yeah, but he's also had good pass coverage on him, and I think that's
Yes.
just a testament to how good he is as a receiver.
And that was kind of in that same zone that it was in the other end zone, I think in the first quarter, and probably maybe guarded by the same guy. So the same physicality and same matchup they had on that last throw.
Nesbitt's got Bell to his left, Conti to his right. He fires over to Conti, tipped up. Conti still able to make the grab, and he powers through a couple tackles, but is brought down. Nice athleticism there from Alex Conti.
Yeah, Alex Conti, they were saying during the senior night presentation, he was the Iron Man of the team, best athlete of the Chiefs, and it was shown then. His hops to get up there, his strength to pull that ball down with two other Longhorns right there. Great play by Conti.
Not a conventional reception, but one the Chiefs will definitely take to give him a few yards. So Nesbitt again has Bell on his left, this time Massey on his right, but he'll actually choose to hand it off to Hancock, who's smothered up the middle.
That's going to be 1 yard short. 4th and 1 coming up.
7:11 left to go in the fourth quarter, and Max, if you're Coach Jackmine, Coach Teeter, I don't see why you wouldn't go for it on this fourth down. It's 4th and 1. You're down by 27. 7 minutes left to go. There's no reason you shouldn't go for it, especially when your offense has been rolling the way they have.
Yes, definitely. And we were saying at halftime, what do they have to lose? I mean, they're trying to get the comeback going and aren't trying to waste possessions. So let's see what they can do here.
So
4th and 1.
Nesbitt has Conti to his left. He's got Chamanda right beside him. And he takes the snap, is looking to his left. Will he throw there? He does. It's tipped up again, and there is a reception, and they do get the first down, and there's a flag on the play.
Another tip pass for a catch.
Okay, I didn't know if that was Jimmy Anderson or not, because usually he plays defense.
Was that Jimmy Anderson?
Yeah, he did make the catch.
Wow. I thought that was Ty Moore's, but
I thought I saw the 77,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure, because I know Jimmy plays defense mainly. But, hey, how about that? Back-to-back plays where it's tipped up, and Sequoyah with very heads-up players there to make the catches still. So 6:25 left to go in the fourth quarter. And the PA announcer lets us know since it was tipped, there is no flag. So good news for Sequoyah. They can keep rolling 1st and goal. Cameron Massey to Nesbitt's right. He also has Chamanda in the pocket with him. He rolls out to his right, and there is a flag on the play. Nesbitt keeps it and slides.
and that's one of the first slides we've seen from Nesbitt all game. Comes up a little bit slowly, but still, he's had a couple plays where he's kind of just tossed the ball away, and we're kind of close to fumbles, but a great decision by Nesbitt there. Just a slide. Might be a little loss of yards, but great decision.
Yeah, good idea not to risk anything, just a slide, play it safe. Play it safe. So 6:02 left to go in the fourth quarter. And Conti and Massey are both on the field. And
I think they might have been holding the Chiefs.
yeah, that is, yeah, so 1st and a long goal now.
Long goal. Around the 25.
It's still a 1st down, though, so
It
the
is.
Chiefs can work with that. Nesbitt has Conti to his right, Massey to his left. Cruz right in the slot, as well as Tyler Bell. Chamanda rolls out. A little screen pass maybe. Nearly intercepted by.
Second time one of those screenplays have kind of just looked iffy.
Nearly intercepted by Joseph Tripp. Yeah, the other time they showed that it wasn't nearly intercepted, but we weren't really sure who the intended receiver was.
I mean, on the other play, it looked like there was he threw it kind of to no one, but on this play, it just seemed like no one was looking, but the defense was looking, and that ball was almost intercepted.
Yeah.
And he's kind of just lofting it up there, too. I don't know. The screenplays might be a thing to do after practice. Maybe not, might need some more work on those, but here's another pass play.
Jackson rolls out to his left, fires that up for Massey. There is no flag and no catch on the play. So another example of Massey being heavily guarded.
Heavily guarded.
Trying to get a touchdown in the end zone.
Just a tad bit overthrown. Massey
So,
could not get there.
3rd and long for Sequoyah. Well, 3rd and goal, but still 3rd and long. 5:46 left to go in the 4th quarter. Lambert Longhorns on top of Sequoyah, 41-14. Sequoyah trying to put some more points on the board. This time Nesbitt has Massey and Hancock. And before the ball is snapped, the ref blows it dead.
Timeout Sequoyah. A good use of timeouts, I would say. They need to dial up some big play here.
So, Max, although Sequoyah has been doing more passing plays, it has been looking a little bit like old Sequoyah where they're taking a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah.
They've taken about 2.5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes off the clock. But they've definitely been working well, and it is 41-14. They have 27 points to score in just under 6 minutes. But I think regardless, Sequoyah definitely have a lot of things to work on going out of this game.
But a lot of things to be proud of.
Yes, a lot of things to be proud of, for sure. I mean, the fact that the defense and offense have both scored a touchdown today, that's definitely a highlight.
100%, yeah.
And as well as the fumble recovery, we had that really nice sack by Carter Leggetti, as well as a lot of pressures. We saw a lot of pressures by Walker Beck, as well as a couple other people.
And I think we've had our really good plays, but at the same time, Lambert has had their really good plays, but their plays have just been for so many more yards. It's just been they've racked up so many more points than we have. Our plays just haven't seemed like they mean a lot, but they are great things to work on, to work with.
Yeah, most definitely. Nesbitt with a rare 3 receivers, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. He rolls out in the pocket. He's looking toward his right, and Conti, the intended receiver, and there's a flag on the play. It looked like Conti was pushed down a little before he could get his hands on the ball.
Yeah.
So pass interference on Lambert. We'll move up Sequoyah quite a bit. Still 3rd down. A more manageable 3rd down. 3rd and goal.
Another 3 receiver scenario with Conti.
Nesbitt's creating options as he looks to his right, and
good decision, just threw it away. Might have been 3rd down, and a pretty big 3rd down, but a throw away and no gain on the play, better than a sack. And they probably will go for this on 4th down, I'm guessing.
I don't think Sequoyah has anything to lose. They're down by 27. Although this drive has taken a little bit longer than their other ones, they've definitely been rolling a lot of good looks, a lot of good plays, just halted by a couple penalties here and there. And again, Max, we see the 3 receiver option for Nesbitt. And he will take the snap, looks to his right, has to keep it, and he has some room. Is he going to get there? And he slides just short of the goal line.
That's going to give Lambert the ball inside, maybe just outside the 5. Good attempt by the Chiefs there. We'll see the Lambert offense again. I don't know if we're going to see Tyre again with 5:22 left. We might see Thorson back on the field after he threw his pick.
That was a really good drive by Sequoyah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think it all started with that big Tyler Bell run on that really, really long third down. He was able to make up that whole third down and then some and get him down the field. Just when Sequoyah did get down there, they were plagued by a few penalties that came at the wrong time, so they weren't able to convert, but a lot of good looks for Sequoyah on that drive. So Lambert 1st and 10 at their 7. So Tyre is still out on the field, and he'll give that one off to Lafayette, and
Wow.
Lafayette breaks 3 tackles there, gets past the first down marker and to the 31-yard line.
That was an 18-yard run, but the power, he broke through a whole array of Chiefs there. Lafayette having a great second half.
So the clock ticks past 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Another 1st and 10 for Lambert. Tyre has options, 2 options in the pocket. One, a receiver to his left and his right as well, and he will go with that receiver to his left, who is immediately pushed out of bounds. Nate Bagosi was the receiver on that.
Going to bring him 2nd and 2 with 4:22 and running in the fourth quarter.
So 8-yard gain for Lambert. Second and 8 for Lambert, a receiving option to his left and his right, but he'll go with the handoff to Ethan Terry. Terry goes up the middle, is able to power through for the first down. He's brought down at the logo.
And a new set of Longhorns coming out on the field. As they're thinking of maybe running out of the clock, it seems like.
Yeah, and James Thorson comes back on, who was that backup quarterback. He did give up the pick 6 to Breton Darling to put Sequoyah at 14 points. A first down for Thorson and all the new Longhorns on the field. Thorson sets up in the pocket, 2 receivers on either side. He'll choose to hand that one off. And Dane Schimmel is met by multiple Chiefs. He will gain 4 yards on the play.
2:56 on the clock now. So 41-14 the score. Very interesting second half, I would say.
Third quarter and fourth quarter were quite different.
Yes, very much so.
2nd and 6 for Lambert. Thorson sets up in the pocket. He'll hand that one off to Shamel again. And Shamel once again met by Michael Silva and Devin Beavers up the middle. Unable to get any, oh actually they will give him a couple yards.
Third and 4, it seems like.
Clock ticks past 2 minutes left to go. Lambert Longhorns still on top of the Sequoyah Chiefs, 41-14. We've been scoreless since the third quarter. Thorson still under center. He hands that one off to Shamel again. 3 plays, 3 the same plays, that is. He does get the first down this time. So 1:40 left to go in the game. 1st and 10 for Lambert. And Max, you really got to hand it to Lambert. I mean, they were the better team here. They have a really, really great offense. That's probably going to be really exciting to watch for the Lambert team.
Yeah, I mean, they just had a better overall showing tonight. I mean, their big plays, I think, completely outshine the plays that we valued a lot in the Chiefs. They had that 70-yard touchdown run, insane plays.
And Thorson gets that one. He hands it off to Shamel again. Shamel goes up the middle. This time he gets more than a few yards. He gets the first down.
Yeah, they had those. I can still picture that 70-yard touchdown run by Tyre. They had those big runs to open the second half that kind of set the tone for how they wanted the game to go. I think this game from the get-go was controlled by Lambert. Sequoyah really showed grit and determination by trying to get back in it. But in the end, just Lambert overpowered him, and Sequoyah couldn't really do anything about it in the first half.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Max. So less than 40 seconds left to go in the game. Thorson is under center, and he will take a knee. And it looks like they might let the clock wind down. Both teams will come across the center line to shake hands. So your final score here from Skip Pope Memorial Stadium, Lambert Longhorns 41, Sequoyah Chiefs 14. So Max, obviously we talked about how the Lambert Longhorns just came out here with a better team. Their offense was explosive from the get-go. They scored quickly in that first quarter, 2 first-half touchdowns, and they did the same thing in the second half to start out with, 2 touchdowns. Sequoyah was able to answer. Take us through a little bit of what happened with Sequoyah in that third quarter.
Yeah, in that third quarter, I was really impressed by how, I would guess you would say audacious Jack Mine was, knowing that he was down by, at that point, 41, I believe. And he was like, you know, like we said, what did they have to lose? Dialed up a big play from Nesbitt. I think Sequoyah became more of a loose team in the second half. They had these big plays that they attempted, and they didn't regret it, is the thing. They scored 2 touchdowns quickly. Overall, a very promising performance. They have a lot of things they need to work on, but there's a lot of things to work with on the Sequoyah team that could provide some very good games, some good wins in the season. A great opener, great first game.
Yeah, and I don't think we should take anything away from what Sequoyah brought to the table.
Yeah.
I think the effort they put up, even though they were down 41-0, that's great effort from them. And, you know, that goes along with what their theme is this year, EEAF, which stands for effort, energy, attitude, and focus. And so I think that is exactly them living out their motto and their mantra for the season. And I think there's a lot of positives to look forward to. The defense and offense both did great. We saw a pick 6. We saw the fumble recovery. We saw great passes from Nesbitt to all kinds of players. Hancock, Conti, Massey, Moores, Wright. You name it. He was throwing it all over the field. He looked very calm. He was very quick and very accurate.
Yeah. Overall, they followed those EEAF rules, the effort, the energy. They always have that during the game. We talked about how they never give up. The attitude, they continue pushing. A great showing of determination by the Chiefs. Just Lambert had a phenomenal game.
Yeah, so that is all from the broadcast here tonight. We want to thank you very much for joining us. And I am Will Hogendijk, and this is Max Swain. Once again, final score from Skip Hope. Lambert Longhorns 41, Sequoyah Chiefs 14.